this actual play 5th edition live stream, where we have 4 groups of 4-player characters. We are in the end game of this stream's main plot line, so we are going to be going through it really quickly. Suffice to say, the last parts of the adventures of Team 1, the team that we're going to be picking up with tonight, they have come to Ursumer, one of their members' home nations, and from here they are looking for they are following the trail of another of their members, Mentor, the alchemist teacher of Jackson. And we will be picking up with them, venturing into the Sudun Desert with their new guide, Tall Knife. But let's have them introduce themselves, and then we'll be back into the dungeons and the dragons. First up, we've got Biff.
Hi, I'm Zach Harmon. I play Biff Treeneedle, a halfling bard.
That's right. After Biff, we have Jackson.
I'm Nathaniel Potts, and I play Jackson Parr, the human conjuration wizard.
After Jackson, we have Zakar.
Hey everyone, I'm Aaron. I play Zakar, who is the ranger rogue from Ursumer.
That's right. And after Zakar, we have Qualid.
Hey, it's me, Brian Ziola. I play Qualid, the hero of the story.
All right. Yeah, and this group has many names. Biff and the Tree Needles, Qualid and Company, Zakar's pals, Jackson +3, and John and Kate.
The Jackson 4.
The Jackson 4. Who's
Get it right, or I'll hit you.
All right, so you all have just made your deal with Tall Knife, who is the only member of the Sudun tribes who is willing to enter the Sudun Desert, going to the blasted crop.
Guys, if you give me 2 hours, I think we can talk them down on the price.
Yeah, I think we should play that out in real time.
All right.
No, we already did that once. It didn't work.
All right, and we're there. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Tall Knife, when are we leaving?
Khalid, you're going the wrong way. That's why we need him.
Nope,
That's the city that we're in.
I can't get past these walls.
Oh no, the hero is lost.
We can leave whenever you want to. I'm ready to go.
Ready.
I have a sense that time is paramount. We should leave immediately.
All right then. It's going to be about 2 days travel, so I hope you got your packs ready.
You have our packs, right? It's part of the price.
No?
So not an all-in-one comprehensive deal that we're doing here. That's how my family's used to traveling. I don't.
Well, if you'd like, I could secure you your food and your drink for about another 10 gold.
I think that sounds fair.
Yeah, I'll slip him an extra 5 and tell him to go heavy on the drink.
Oh. All right. And he whispers something, and you see this guy turn off. He says, it'll be about 10 minutes. And then right away that guy comes back, and it's been 10 minutes.
Whoa.
In that time, could I have gotten myself a paracel?
Yeah, there is a Shuhanese merchant who has several like paper parasols nearby. And there's also a smaller one for drinks that you get complimentary. And Tall Knife nods and says, "Right then, let's get going."
Alright.
Do they call you Tall Knife because you use a sword?
No.
Okay, asked and answered.
It's because I've got this, and he pulls a knife from his boot, and then he reaches up to where he has a kind of like short braid ponytail situation in his hair, and he pulls out a really small throwing knife. As tall as I am, I've got a knife for
You
it.
call that a knife?
I mean,
That's not a knife.
the one in his
This is
boot.
a knife.
The
And I
one
pull out the falchion.
that's decidedly not a knife, lad.
Yeah, that's not a knife, dude.
It's made of the same things. It's just taller.
I was hoping it referred to that bulge in your pants, but I guess that's exciting too.
Is that a dagger in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Is it a dagger in your pocket, or is there something really wrong with your penis?
But Tall Knife begins to take you all on a nice little journey. So in the desert, sand is going to give you difficult terrain, pretty much, unless you can ignore difficult terrain.
Even on Keith?
So I have Natural Explorer for the desert, and that means difficult terrain does not slow our group's travel.
Okay, well there you go. So for travel, you won't be slowed down. But then for situations like this where there is a dune, if you are going up to the dune, it is going to be like difficult terrain and even harder. But when you are going down, you will be ignoring difficult terrain.
Cool.
Just in the event that it comes up, it might not come up. So Tall Knife is going, and Tall Knife seems like he's open to chat with you all. Like he's probably chatted a little bit with Biff and Jackson, probably Zakar too, about like
Oh,
guarding
okay.
caravans.
I can take a hint.
I mean, he's not like obtuse about talking to you, Khalid. It's just
No, it's fine. I'll just go this way. I'll go with the dune.
But about halfway through your first day of traveling, he says, "Right, let's stop," and he takes out some water skins, and he says, "Another 100 feet, and we'd be dead."
And what's that?
What's up in 100 feet?
Oh, I'll give it a minute. And you
Is it-
all
A sandstorm.
sit, and then in about the time that you have been traveling, 100 feet ahead of you, you just see about the size of like a decent-sized cottage. You see a like shark fin that is the color of sand, just darting through the sand ahead of you.
Like, is it just kind of passing by, or does it look like it's coming towards us?
It's like going perpendicular to you. So
Okay.
none of the maps tonight will be 100 feet.
Do we just wait here and let it pass?
Aye. Another minute or two and it'll be far enough away that it won't fill us.
It can feel like our movement.
Aye.
Is that how it senses?
Doesn't have any eyes.
Hmm. Are there other creatures that move through the sand like that?
Oh, aye. Deathworms, leviathans,
Leviathans?
yeah, leviathans.
There- Are there a lot of insect creatures in this dune, Zakar?
I don't. Ben, are there many insect creatures?
Yeah, there's like onkegs and other stuff.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I once saw a man get killed from a scorpion. It's not a pretty sight. You should be careful. They
Oh,
probably eat your little beetle friend too.
Giant scorpions too. Yeah.
Are any of these cactuses the fun kind to eat?
I mean that one. The milk from it would get you tight.
Tight, eh?
Toy.
Toit. Yeah, sorry. Toit like a toy gun.
I'm going to. Is this Am I in Sand Shark territory if I grab some?
No, the sand shark's not gonna pop up and say, "Get in my belly."
I'm gonna slice off a couple paddles of cactus.
All right. Now be careful with it. Can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Yeah. 12.
I guess. I mean, well, you have proficiency on dex saves, right?
Yeah.
All right, then I won't retroactively call it a dex check because it's not like it doesn't like attack you, but I think you like almost cut your hand on the prickles, the needles, when you go to pick it up.
Just touching the needles get you messed up?
No,
Or just hurts?
it would just
Okay.
hurt. But
Okay.
you managed to just barely not graze it.
Careful with those thin knives all over the cactus there, Biff.
Right. So what's your purpose for going to the blasted crop, by the way?
Well, I need to find that woman that you said you led in here.
Oh, that's a good enough reason.
I've been meaning to ask you about that, Jackson. What exactly is your relationship with Allison?
It's multifaceted. We are partners, but also she was much further along in the arts before I had met her, and so in some ways she was my tutor and instructor. We have many plans together. From time to time, when it necessitated, we were lovers.
Had she ever spoken about going to this place before, or someplace like it?
No, she hadn't. I just knew that she was looking for a particular relic and had left me a message that she was leaving and it wouldn't take too long, but I believe it was something about a month or so she was supposed to be gone, and she was gone for much longer than that. That's when I went out on my own to follow in her footsteps, I suppose, and find powerful relics and further the arts.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on when you said your lovers when necessary. What would necessitate you fucking your teacher?
Well, I mean, the sort of spells we experiment with, you need
Okay.
a lot of powerful things come from the act of making love, and it can sometimes
Oh.
help fulfill the spells.
The old cream magic, I got it.
Yes. Fluids are, at least from people, can be very powerful.
Well, there's supposed to be a great evil housed in the blasted crop, so you should be careful. I hope she is.
Well, I mean, evil is subjective, and look, we've faced many evil things before, and we've only beat them. And she's an amazing magician. She'll have no issues. If anything, she might be stopping that thing by taking some of its power from it.
Well, this one struck down all of the Iron Men, so it's quite powerful. It's beyond anything I've seen, at least.
All of the Iron Men, Mach 1 all the way up to Mach 8.
You got Silver Centurion?
Yeah.
Heard she took down Axo Manowar too.
No, I don't know much about these Iron Men. What are they?
Well, I don't know much about him either, but
Oh, they're
Yes.
in the first war against the shadow of evil. They were the servants of the prince of demons.
They were the Prince of what?
The prince of demons.
Prince of Demons.
Like
Well,
fingerprints.
No, you all probably call them something different because you're from a different culture than I am. But it's the first war between the gods and mortals, and then, all of the older things that were worse. They served all them demons.
So, are they bad people? These Iron Men?
I mean, they, wanted to kill everything that was alive, so I'd say so.
Yeah, it's if you
So
start
if
with
this-
demons.
So if this entity inside of this cave that we're going to, if they defeated the Iron Man, then wouldn't that make them not evil? If you assume the Iron Men were?
She, whatever it is she was, she betrayed all of the people who she had just helped to save. So, people in charge of keeping mortals alive, they chained her up. We've been
It's that
avoiding her ever since.
It's that relativity thing you're talking about, Jackson.
Yeah, you're right. It does sound like that. But either way, I mean, we are more than capable. I think you can agree. And if Allison was there or is there, then things should be pretty easygoing, and we'll learn a lot, and hopefully we'll end whatever bad juju that this entity is caused or causes. Maybe it will no longer cost 1,000,000 golds in order to travel to that place.
If you'd like to renegotiate and pay me 1,000,000 gold, I'll take it.
I was using hyperbole. Sorry.
And I'd like to be paid in hyperbole if it's more gold.
I mean, I can pay you in hyperbole
Yeah, we could pay in hyperbole a little
if
bit.
you want to give us the gold back.
No, I'm alright. And you all, I need, since Zakar, since you're good at deserts, can you make a survival check with advantage?
Sure.
Ultimately, Tall Knife is trying to keep you out of danger, but, it is possible for you to just come under attack by some predatory force.
Yeah. So I rolled a 17, and just a reminder, this is what the natural explorer. The one time being a ranger is at all useful, so I'm putting it in.
Hey, I'm glad that before you all stave off the end of the world, possibly, this is coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, don't put down the ranger. We've eaten a lot of good berries.
That's true.
That's true.
Think about how poor the quality of those berries would be if you were just a rogue.
Just fine berries.
Oops, not very good berries.
These these berries aren't good at all.
And so it's getting closer to dusk, and far ahead of you, you can see it looks like there's a strange, like, milky white rock formation. And you can actually see, like, firelight.
Oh, sorry, Ben. Real quick, it says my proficiency bonus is doubled for survival, so that's an additional 4, so it's a 21.
Okay, then you will be close enough to better make out what you can see at that rock formation, I think.
Okay.
Like you get another quarter of a mile
Sure.
without anything bad happening to you, keeping a pretty good pace. Tall Knife puts his eyes puts his hand over his eyes so that he can look a little bit without the like sunlight as it sets getting into his eyes, and he says, "It's a couple of more. They're not my clan, but they're one that's okay. We could go and join them if you like, but looks like they are guiding somebody."
Sure. I mean, maybe they'll have some good booze and food and stuff that they'll let us indulge in.
Yeah, and maybe they've seen something up ahead and can convey that to us.
All right then, let's keep going. We'll reach them before the night's completely on.
Tally ho!
Tally ho! And you all get to stepping. And when you get closer, so Zakar, you are able to see that they are not rocks but bones. massive
Great dragon.
bones. Could be. And that what appears to be there is a fire, and there are two Sudun tribal members, and then or clansmen. They're clans. So, and then another
Motorcycle
person.
mouse.
Yeah, it's Ralph the motorcycle mouse. The Sand People will be back, and in greater numbers. But Tall Knife seems to recognize one of the guides, so he's picking up his pace a little bit.
I'll try and keep up with them.
I'll kind of come up on Keith and be like, "Hey there, friends. Would you maybe mind sharing your campfire for a bit?"
Of course not, says one of them. One of the Sudun tribes members. Make a insight check, Biff. As you all approach, you can see that these Sudun, they are wearing the same sort of purple overcloth, but they have like more red accents than yellow, and it seems like they have a very different, sort of almost like an ocean wave pattern in blue on the fringes of their robes, which is a designation of what clan they're in, which is different from the one that Tall Knife wears. With the insight check, you can tell that this guy is kind of nervous when he talks to you.
That guy?
Yeah.
The mouse?
No, the guy who said that, one of the Sudun tribe members. He was kind of nervous when he said that to you, but he's trying to like put on a brave face. The guy over here, the one who is not a clansman, he is wearing. It's very clearly like steel armor in places, with then like this very dark blue cloth covering like the weak spots. So like he has this lamellar steel chest piece, but then most of his arms are just covered by like what looks like this blue cloth, and then there is a bit of this like weird white. It doesn't look quite like cloth or like silk, but it's kind of like an in-between. It's this bright, vibrant white. And then he is wearing basically a helmet that is this faceted, almost lamellar, like linking bits underneath each other on the sides, that sort of flares out around his face, and then on the top of his head there are rat ears and like a rat snout. And then he is wearing like a samurai's mempo, which is the face mask, but it is just the underside of a rat's snout and face. And he is sitting. It looks like he is similarly comfortable as the Sudun are, covering their faces and keeping in their sweat.
Hey, cool rat guy vibe. I like it. I've got kind of a minotaur thing going. I'll show off my horn. My quarter minotaur skull face mask. You sure you guys are cool? I mean, we can find another spot if you want some privacy. It's all right. No offense taken.
Oh no, you're already here, says the one who is already speaking. Tall Knife goes over here and starts conversing with this guy. Biff, you can tell that he's a little nervous too.
I'll pull out some booze and offer it around.
Have you all come across anyone else in your journeys today?
No, just us. Saw a caravan the other day, but otherwise no. Nothing too noteworthy. Been a easy journey so far.
Ben, I'm just looking around the camp in case there's like an ambush that's being set up or something like that.
No.
I think my caravan guard senses are going off. So
Yeah, make a perception check.
okay. And because we're in the desert, I get +4 to my perception. So 20.
It's so good at reading that.
All right. You throw your eyes at every surface, every bit of bone that you can see. You don't see any long shadows, sort of moving in one direction or the other.
Okay.
And yeah, it just seems like it is just these three. The pack that they have, it's only enough for 3 people. That's sort of how you feel like you know that it's just the 3 people. 3 peeps.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds good. I'll head back to the fire then.
Then, yeah, you all are sitting, and it seems like they are cooking. It looks like they are cooking on keg legs over the fire. So they're these long, carapacey, like cricket legs almost, but with these long, serrated claws at the end.
That's where the good meat is.
Interesting. Did you come across that creature and put it down?
Oh, our patron here did. I slew it. Quick as a flash.
I don't suppose you harvested anything other than meat from it.
Oh well, we got a bit of its blood. You know that can be used to brew medicine. So that's a good point.
Jackson goes boing. He's like snaps to attention.
I mean, any chance you have extra to spare? I'd be interested in working with it myself. I'm a bit of a medicine maker.
I could spare a little bit. Yeah, sure. And he starts to go over to his pack. And he pulls it out, and when he opens his pack, he quickly tries to hide it, but you see that he has like 6 platinum coins on top of a small pile of gold coins.
Okay. It doesn't really matter to me, so I'll offer to, like, if he gives me like a vial, I'll exchange an empty one to him so that he's not wasting his equipment.
Oh, thank you there. Please,
thank you.
you all are free to
Really kind.
you all are free to eat.
Yeah, I'll play a little dinner music, and I'll kind of test out the illusory capabilities of these dragon vocal cords, and just do something light, it's like a small breeze, like a comfortable breeze, and like some floating sparkly lights to set the atmosphere.
Yeah. This guy turns around. Friend, you want to come and join us?
I'm meditating.
Oh, sorry.
I won't answer. I'm just gonna continue to meditate.
Oh, he seems stuck to himself.
Yeah, he's very, very serious. He just kind of got to roll with it.
All right.
So, what brings you to the desert, friend? And I'm asking the rat man specifically.
That is my concern. Comes a voice from the mask.
Oh, you don't need to be concerned.
It is a matter of only my concern, and not yours, friend.
What about the whole rat guy thing? Does it have a story, or is that your concern too?
It is a symbol of my clan.
Oh, cool. Why the rat? Why did your clan adopt the rat?
They are efficient creatures.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Where are you from?
Far away.
Well, I
Chatty
mean,
fellow.
so are we.
Do you have any
I'm from
favorite
Pakistan.
tunes? Any favorite tunes? Anything I can bust out for you here that you'd like to hear? Maybe you haven't heard for a while?
I heard a song from Zishan once. The Burning Goose.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Meet the Man Who Chopped 1,000 Trees Down with His Golden Axe. The Burning Goose? Is that what you said?
The Burning Goose, a mighty goose burned by 4 fools.
Do I know that one?
It does sound quite familiar.
Well, could you hum a few bars? Maybe I could, figure it out.
I could hum, yes. And he stands up. Run! Says one of these Sadun clansmen to you all.
What?
And Tall Knife sort of says, "What?" And he starts to climb to the top of this bony rib, and there comes this massive rattling over here. And the sand begins to shift, and then you see a death worm bust through the sand.
Hell
It's
yeah.
huge. It's
Always
purple.
a death
It's
worm.
got a gaping mouth filled with teeth, like in shark rows, going all the way back down its throat. You see lightning crackling between those teeth. Let's roll initiative, baby.
1 moment, Mr. Worm. Could you continue the song?
Yeah, we got the G. I didn't get what was past the G.
Did I hum a G? If I did, it was by accident.
I don't know. $19.
I might have missed something. Why is the car next to me?
I was getting up to talk to you when this was happening, but
Oh.
something.
I love you.
I love you too.
Was Zakar getting up to say, "Hey, I'm pretty sure this guy."
Yeah, I was gonna. I mean, maybe you heard like a second of this, but isn't that Drow looking for you? And then maybe that pops up.
Yeah. All right, and everybody, we are in initiative. So, first up, it is going to be this drow. He is a drow, and he is going to dart forward. And as he goes, he pulls out what basically looks like a cavalry saber, but there is no curve to it, and it's like in between the length of a short sword and a long sword. And he basically just rolls right up to you, Biff, and he is going to make 2 attacks. So that is a 17 and a 29.
Damn.
Both it.
All right, so you will take 25 points of damage. The 11 is cold damage.
Okay.
And then you will take 29 points of damage, and the extra damage is force damage.
All
Hey,
right.
Ben. Hey, Ben, to confirm, this is the masked man.
He is wearing a mask. All of his, he has no visible skin.
Okay, so we don't know that he's Drow.
You don't know that he's drow.
Okay.
But you get
I have a hunch. Yeah.
you get a good sense, probably a drow.
Okay.
And then he is going to just end his turn right there, having attacked you twice. Next up in our order, it is Biff. It is your turn.
All right. Don't know. I'm going to disengage and move over to Qualid. And
Sorry, is this difficult terrain, Ben? Just to make sure.
oh yeah,
Oh, yes, it is.
sorry, I won't be able to make it quite that far. I could be here, but I'm still within range to do this. I'm gonna cast Polymorph on Qualid and turn him into a giant ape if he's willing.
Oh, okay.
All right.
figure that'll-
I believe I have an ape token.
Sure.
I figure that'll give us a giant monster of our own.
I'm gonna put you on top of this rock, Brian.
Okay.
And there's you as an ape, and you have control of the token.
And I can't drop this, right? This would have to be dropped by you.
I don't know if it's on a willing creature if they can. It doesn't. I don't think it specifies.
Yeah, I guess. Do you submit to the polymorph? Once you are polymorphed, I think it has to be under the pretenses of
Yeah.
the spell.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want you to waste a spell, so I'll submit. Or yeah, I'll let it happen.
Okay. Anything else in your turn, Biff?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on myself as well. Level 2. Oh. Okay, that's my turn.
All right. Then next up, it is Qualid. It is your turn.
Sorry, I'm looking at the
I think he
stats
meant
right now.
to,
Ooh. Okay, and I'll, it says I can throw rocks. Are there rocks nearby?
There's chunks of these ribs.
Would you allow that to be?
I would allow
Rock?
that to be a rock. Yeah.
Okay.
They're like petrified bone.
Okay, I'm doing it.
oh, they're scared of this worm too.
Yeah, baby.
It's 20 to hit.
Who are you trying to hit?
Okay, so when I'm polymorph, do I have my mental, or do I lose that? Sorry, am I thinking like an ape, or am I thinking like Qualid?
I believe that you still retain your memories and your ideas.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, then
Yeah, you retain alignment and personality. Your mental ability scores are replaced, but you would still have your alignment and personality and stuff. So
okay, I'll still go for this. I think, I think it's the bigger threat.
Okay,
And I
20
still
will
don't
hit.
really know about this dude. So 20 will hit, and sorry.
yeah, sorry, I didn't think about macros being made or anything when I did this.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
It's
Jesus, dude.
plus 6, so 33.
All right. Yeah, pretty good throw for the bone.
Yeah. Oh,
Holy shit!
Yeah, yeah, they do pretty decent damage.
and that's my turn.
All right. King Kong ain't got nothing on you. And next up, it is Zakar. It is your turn.
All right, I'll call out, "Get off the sand," and I will take out my bow and shoot towards the worm with sharpshooter. It's a 16 to hit.
16, it glances off of it.
Okay. And a 14 to hit.
14 will also just roll off of its hide.
And then I will use my movement to get to here, and then I'll bonus action dash to scurry up onto this rock. Assuming I can, or would that take an action then?
To get up, no, it'd just be your movement.
Okay.
So you could get up there, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Next
That's my
up,
turn.
it is the Death Worm's turn. And it is going to... It is going to get over here, and it is going to try and bite you, Qualid Ape, man. So let's see.
I throw a barrel at it.
Oh no, it falls down. It didn't get the hammer.
Oh no!
It made it through these intricate layers of platforms and ladders to get to you.
That is a 25 to hit you.
That'll hit. My armor class is 12.
All right. So
Oh.
you will take. You will take 29 points of piercing damage.
I do.
And are you large or are you huge?
I'm huge.
Okay, then you don't. There's no chance of it swallowing you. Its mouth is just too small to get you in there.
Yeah, eat my foot.
And then its tail is going to whip around and try and hit you, Biff.
Okay.
So that is a 19 to hit you.
That'll hit.
Okay. then oh yeah, I apologize. Let me. He just looks disappointed in Biff. 19 hits, so you will take 18 points of piercing damage, and oh my god. Right, and you will take 36 points of poison damage.
It's a big
No,
old
no.
knockout.
And can you make a Constitution saving throw?
Sure.
Oh wait, you only have to take the poison damage if you fail.
Oh, okay.
And none of my quality effects are happening. Like,
Yeah. I
Right.
fail.
I don't think that you get your auras if you're polymorphed.
it makes sense to me. I
Well,
think you're right.
Nope. I
Okay, so
just dropped that. I just dropped that spell because I'm knocked out. So.
Oh.
You're back to being quality, I think.
Wait, you're down?
Yeah. I'm knocked out.
You're Dimmadamaday, down?
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, man.
But there we go. Then next up, it is Jackson. Is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to use my movement and my bonus action to Misty Step so that I get up here onto the rock where Zakar is. And then I'm going... Oh, wait, I need to check something first. Never mind, I don't go there. I go here. And I'm going to Benign Transposition. And I'm going to teleport myself, this is with my action, to where Biff is, and teleport Biff up to where I was, right here.
All right.
And that's my turn. Well, actually, I still have 10 feet of movement now, so I'm going to circle around to here. Is this an okay spot, or do I have to be here?
That's okay. Yeah, you can be there.
You have,
Okay.
you have 5 feet of movement if you have 10 left.
Yeah, that's true.
It's difficult terrain.
Oh. Okay, then I'll just stay there.
Okay. Next up, it is Kaisho's turn. He is going to get here. And he shouts, "Traitor!" And he tries to stab you, Khalid.
Oh, apparently he's angry about you being an ape.
So that is a 14 to hit.
No. No.
He uses finesse weapon master, and it's a 29 to hit you.
That one does.
All right. He slinks it through the points in your armor, and that is going to be 10 piercing damage, and you will take 8 cold damage.
Okay, so I reduce the 10 to 7 from Heavy Armor Master, and then I take the 8. So that's 15 total, right?
Yep. Okay. And then he is going to... he brings his hand up over his head in a sort of circle, and then, like, shoves it down in front of his face with just one finger up, as if he's, like, shushing himself. And a cloud of smoke appears around him. And I need both of you to make Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
Now I got the aura, baby.
What does that give me? I forget.
+4.
Okay. So that's a 29 from...
Jesus.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so you
Mine's
both...
not.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Khalid, you will take 2d10 acid damage as the smoke seems to like purposefully try to get into your lungs. So you will take 13 points of acid damage.
Okay.
Jackson, you take no damage. But he appears in the distance, and you can see that he is in that same pose, and he's already getting ready to attack you again. Biff, it is your turn. Can you make a death save, please?
Yep.
That is one failure.
One down.
All right, Qualid, you are up next.
In that attack, being attacked by him, taking his sword hit, do I get a feel for who he is?
You felt like it was similar in a manner of warfare to a type of elf that you have seen fight before who has to fight underground.
Didn't I tell Khalid that
Nope.
I didn't tell you about that? Okay.
I think you told them that there was a masked man.
A masked man. Okay.
But I don't know if
Yeah.
you told them that it was a drow necessarily.
No, you
Right.
did not. Yeah.
Okay,
But
That
also
makes
like,
sense. Yeah.
but even more than like just knowing that he's drow, do I get a feel like? Do I see the sword? Do I recognize anything off this person that cues me in on him?
You don't recognize him.
Okay.
No.
Okay, got it. Then I am going to. Sorry, Ben, but I'm going to cast haste. That's
Hey, there's two people who have a lot of HP trying to kill you.
so that will be my action. I will use my additional action to swing at this big ass worm. And 16 to hit.
It will not hit.
All right, that is my turn.
Okay. Zakar, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to use my bonus action to take out a greater healing potion, shove it down Biff's throat, healing him for 15.
Biff pops up. 15, still
Okay.
prone.
I'll drop the glass vial onto the ground, pull out Fill Knot once more, and this time try to strike without using Sharpshooter on the worm. So it's 30 to hit, 29 and 28 to hit.
All right, both of those will hit.
Okay. And I'm going to do I know anything about these creatures being...
They are native to a place that you have that ranger sense. So why don't you make a nature check with advantage?
Okay. 15.
Seems like radiant and fire would both do the job pretty well.
Okay. I would choose fire then. And yeah, so that's a total of 39 points of damage, 8 of which is fire.
All right. Sorry, I'm just going to do the math on a calculator. Because that's a lot of numbers. All right. You take out like a sizable little chunk of flesh, and the purple worm kind of goes.
Hell yeah. I'm not going to use my movement, so that is my turn.
Okay. Next up, it is the purple worm's time, and it is going to move to right here, and it is going to attempt to bite you, Jackson.
Oh god! Oh god! Oh god!
That's still in my range, I'm assuming? Yes,
Yep.
it is. Okay.
That is a 12 to hit you, Jackson.
It'll miss.
All right. And then its tail is going to poke up out of the sand and is going to try and impale you, Qualid.
Okay, I'm going to first hit it.
Okay.
And
14 will miss.
ah,
Okay.
and then it hits me.
It's a 25 to hit you.
That hits.
Okay. That is you take 24 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And I'm just going to type it in because it's a lot. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Man, my rolls are bad today.
That will be 35 points of poison damage.
Okay, I'm at 6 life.
Oh my god.
Okay. Next up, then, after the worm, it is Jackson. It is your turn.
Okay. Do you have any of those sized circles saved?
I do not.
Or squares? Okay. It's okay. It's a square, so it's easy enough to draw. I am going to cast a black tentacles underneath of this guy.
I can do the measuring tool pots if you tell me how long it is.
There we go.
Oh.
Centered on him. And so here, I'll link it so that you see what it does. Oh, that didn't link what it does. Sorry. There we go. 13. You can see within foot. For the duration, these tentacles turn the ground and area into difficult terrain. When a creature enters the affected area for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there, they need to do the deck save.
Okay. He got. He got a 16, so that is a failure.
Yes.
All right.
And so that is the 13 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
13 bludgeoning damage, and he is restrained by the tentacles until the spell ends.
Okay.
And so that is my action. I did that. And now I'm going to use my movement to move 1, 2, 3 spots to here, because that's all 15 of my movement. And I don't think I had a healing potion on me that I could give it to.
I have one.
Oh, I did have a greater healing potion, so I'll use my bonus action to pop that into the mouth slit and Zakar's
All right.
mask. 4d4 plus 4.
That's me or that's the car?
Sorry, I said Zakar, but I meant...
I figured you did. The car better not be
us-
wearing a mask. That's why
Us religious
Skyly.
people are all the same to him.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love them all equally.
All right.
All right. And that's my turn.
Do you do it weird? Is it like weird, like you're putting chapstick on me? Like I didn't want this. Like,
Yeah, I just keep dipping my fingers in, and I just put my fingers into the holes in your mouth. Drink up, baby boy. No.
Stop
And
doing it.
next up, after Jackson, it is going to be Kaisho's turn. He is going to attempt to get out of it. Dexterity check. Yeah.
He takes damage at the start of his turn.
That's right.
Yep.
Do you want to roll 3d6?
Well, he has to roll a deck save to see at the beginning of his turn.
I think he takes the damage. It's just to see if he can make himself not restrained.
No, it says a creature must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take the 3d6. So he gets 2. One is to see if he can get rid of it, and the second one is to see if he takes the damage.
It says a creature that starts its turn in the area and is already restrained by the tentacles, it takes it.
Oh, okay. My
Yeah,
bad.
so I think he'll take the 3d6, but he will get out.
Do you want me to roll a new 3d6 or just use the old one?
We can use 13 if you want. I'm okay with you. What you choose.
That's-
Dang.
Yeah, let's just use the 13 to make it faster.
Okay, then he gets out. He gets to there.
It was difficult terrain.
He has
Doubly so. Double difficult.
he has enough speed to get out.
Okay.
All right, and next up it is actually let me check. So is double difficult terrain a thing? I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
Okay, he would have been able to get out. Then next up after him, it is Biff. It is your turn.
All right. Is Mass Cure Wounds, is that still an action, or is that also a bonus action for
What level is
its
it?
first heal? It's level 5. I don't know
That would be
if
an
that where it
action
starts.
then.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
I'm still gonna
actually,
do it.
isn't that a bonus action normally? Or is that the
No.
trade-off for it being better?
Yeah, it's a full action for Mass Cure Wounds.
Yeah, mass healing word would be the bonus action one.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
So this
That's
is
what I was
a 30-foot radius, so I can get all those here. And we'll do it. So 15 back for everyone. And then I'm going to hit a spicy little lick on my dulcimer and give Zakar a point of bardic inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
That's my turn.
All right. Next up, Qualid.
So I asked in the chat, but I don't think you saw it. Did I rolled a 21 con save on the 35 damage?
Yeah, I would save.
So I keep haste. Okay. Okay. So action. Well, now my health is better. No, I'm sure I should do it. I'm gonna action dump all my lay on hands in myself. No, not all of it. I will dump. Oh man, math is so stupid. Yes, all of it. I'm dumping all of it. 55 points. And then I will use my hasted action to attack. No, first I will use my bonus action to do my channel divinity. So I get sorry, I'm slow today. I get advantage on attack rolls against the worm.
Okay.
Doing the worm. And so I will attack. 22.
22 will hit.
Okay, I'm going to Divine Smite at level 1. So that adds 2d8. Is there anything necrotic or anything like that I need to know about this? No, it's not undead, right?
It seems to be alive.
Okay.
All right, so that's 17. And
Plus
then
12?
An additional 12, all right.
29 damage. And then bonus action. I already used that. I'm done. I'm done.
All right, let me do some quick math here. Okay, never mind. All right, there we go. Then next up, Zakar, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to slide down the back of this rock. Does that take 10, 15 movement?
The rock is like 10 feet high, so that would be 50.
20? Okay. And I will bonus action hide. I can do a stealth roll for that. It's a 20.
Okay.
And then I will take another 5 feet of movement here, and which is 10 feet of movement, and shoot towards the worm.
Okay.
Not with sharpshooter.
Okay, you have advantage.
Okay. Then with sharpshooter, if I have advantage. 22 to hit.
22 will hit.
And natural 20.
All right.
And
There's all the good rolls.
do I do I have the sneak attack then as well?
Yep.
Okay, great.
I have a guess which one you're gonna apply it to.
Yeah, I'm doing it on the second one. Okay. Yeah, I might need your calculator on this one then.
I hope it's one of those graphing calculators.
Yeah. Okay. So
You
that
do 98 points of damage.
Jesus
is...
Christ.
Okay. Yeah, that's my turn.
All right. It is bloodied.
And I'll yell out, "Come on, come to me."
Quit showing off.
Okay, yeah, that's my turn.
Yeah, it's not going to be using its passive perception to see anything within its 60 feet of tremor senses anymore. All right. Then next up, it is the Deathworm's turn. And it is going to move, and it is going to try to sting you with its tail, Jackson.
Zakar, or why do I keep calling you Zakar? Yeah, Sentinel, that bad boy.
I'm gonna do it. 17.
Misses. So he is going to try to stinger you. That is a 27 to hit you.
Yes.
All right, I need you to make
Yeah.
a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
That will be a success. You won't take the poison damage. You will take 23 points of piercing damage, as just this long
23.
barbed
Okay.
stinger just hits you right in the stomach. And then it is going to finish its travel. Come right here. You watch as it just sort of breaks this rock, and it's sort of like parts of the rock just fly up like shrapnel as its body just burrows into it. And it is going to try to bite you, Zakar. That
Right.
is a 22.
Yep, that hits.
All right. And that will do... you take 20 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. It's a 28.
All right, you manage to wiggle between two of its larger teeth, and it pulls away just with a mouthful of sand.
Nice.
All right, and now Jackson, it is your turn.
Real quick,
One second.
I'm going to use my reaction to use the skirmisher ability to use half of my movement to take 5-foot step away. And that does not provoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
And when it walked away from me to attack him, I'm going to use my reaction to try and stab it.
That
Does
does
a
not
14 hit? Look, Jackson's trying. At least give him that.
No, hey, that's very brave of him to try to stab it.
His weird, thin, twisted dagger against its basically rock flesh.
Yeah, you look down and your dagger is shaped almost identical to its stinger. All right, then next up, it is your turn, Jackson.
Okay. I am going to cast another spell, which will drop my concentration on this black tentacles, but I am casting black tentacles again. Right here.
All right,
And so, yeah.
27.
He saves, so he's not restrained, I don't believe.
Man, that guy's not simping for those tentacles.
Uh,
Yeah, I think he just ignores the effects of it this turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no, like, you save and take half damage. He just takes none. Because it didn't restrain him. But they're still squirming around him.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to like it.
Okay, so that is my action. I'm going to 5, 10, 15 to here. And I got nothing for bonus, so I'm done.
All right, next up, it is Kaisho's turn. He is going to get out using 15 feet of movement with his remaining 10.
Well, he started his turn. He needs to roll another dexterity
Oh, okay.
check to see if he gets restrained. He does. I mean, he doesn't get restrained. He passes.
Okay. Use 15 feet of movement to get out. With his other 10, he gets to right here. And
So him in that is okay. It's still like difficult terrain. I don't know if that changed anything.
it was difficult terrain for him to get out, and then he used another 10 to get to here. He has 50 feet of movement normally.
Cool.
And so he has 25 right now.
Okay.
And he gets here, and he is going to reach at something in his belt, and he is going to throw 2 knives at you, Khalid, like rapid succession. So let me see here. That is a 26 to hit you.
26 hits.
Okay. You take 8 points of piercing damage and 1 fire damage.
Okay.
Which
And that'll
you
be
ignore.
reduced to 3. I ignore fire, yes.
Alright.
So I take 5 damage.
Alright. And then his second knife is a 28 to hit.
That'll hit 2.
Alright. And you will take 7 piercing damage and 2 force damage.
7 piercing and 2 force. Okay. So that is 4 and 2, right?
Yeah.
6 plus 6. Okay. Done.
And as he finishes his turn, he says, 17 of us remain, and you cut that number down by 1. Fools. And there he goes. Then next up, it is Biff. It is your turn. This purple worm is right next to you now.
All right. At any point during this 6-second turn, is there an opportunity for me to jump down this thing's throat?
Yeah, you could move and take one. You could move and jump, and then you would be able to do it.
Okay, that's what I want to do. I'm going in.
All right.
And then, once I've been sufficiently swallowed, I am going to cast
Yes.
Thunder Wave.
All right. You are blinded and restrained, but you can cast Thunder
Yeah.
Wave.
Shouldn't matter. We're going to go level 6. Oh no, that's a 1, so I can re-roll that.
You can re-roll 2. D8.
Oh no, because I'm lucky.
Yeah, you re-roll 1 since you're a halfling. Halfling luck is you re-roll. Oh no, you only do that on d20s. Sorry. So that is going to be 25 points of damage to him. Yeah, and he's looking not great.
Well, also, everything does get pushed 10 feet. Anything that's not secured gets pushed out in a 10-foot radius centered on me.
Oh man, is his tongue gonna shoot out of his mouth?
Well, you watch some of its teeth like fly out. Seems like that hurts it a little bit. But you are swallowed and restrained as its muscles sort of like bounce back around you at the end of the 6 seconds.
Okay, well, yeah, that's my turn.
All right, and you are also blind.
Yep.
All right, then next up it is Khalid.
Okay. So I'm going to use. So let me see. Yeah. So my movement is 40 right now, but that's cut in half to 20, right?
Well, but you're hasted.
But I'm hasted, so I get double movement. So yeah, that's plenty to get there. So I'll jump around here, and I'm gonna attack it. Boom. 26.
26 will hit.
12 damage.
12 damage. Still standing.
Okay, attack 2.
26 hits.
17 damage.
All right. It dies. So like you stab it and it goes and its tongue like rolls out over this rock like all the way to the edge, and you see it's just like dripping this venom. Biff, you are no longer restrained. It'll still take a lot of your movement to get out.
Okay.
And you have killed you've killed the death worm.
Okay. And then I am going to use my free action to remove my mask from my face and drop it in the sand, and then use my hasted action to dash back here and get right in his face.
Okay. You can dash as a bonus action with haste.
I can dash with my hasted action. Yeah.
Oh, my
so
bad. I thought that was just you got to. My bad.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's It's all good.
Nope. I'm gonna go think about what I've done.
Yeah,
Zakar,
it's your bad, Ben. I agree.
Zakar, it's your turn.
Great. I'm gonna bonus action hide, and it's 25.
All right.
And I'm gonna use my movement to climb on top of this rock and shoot 2 shots at the Rat Man.
All right. Let's look at that angle. I'm gonna say he has quarter cover.
Okay, I have sharpshooters, so it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Ignored. Hey Ben, did you say something? Because we're ignoring it.
Do I have
Threw
advantage?
his mic across the room.
No, yeah, you have advantage.
Okay. So I'll do it with sharpshooter, and I'm going to use one of my tree needle arrows for the first attack. So it's 22 to hit.
All right. 22 will hit.
Okay. And the second one is a 17 to hit.
17
using-
misses.
Okay.
You notice it hits at his elbow on one of his hands, and you notice the white silky stuff. It is like torn to shreds, and you see that it is like it's really, really thick spider web.
That's awesome. That's a total of 47 points of damage.
All right.
Still fire damage
He will
for
have
the 8.
he will half the fire damage.
Yep.
So what was it? It was 46, you said, or 40?
It was 47, so it'll be 43.
Okay, 43.
And that is my turn.
All right.
Do I have to do like a Constitution saving throw because of the acid or anything?
No.
Where the tongue is?
No.
Okay.
Biff will, but so Biff is now your turn. No, wait, your turn is 19. Sorry about that. That was a different chain of events. It is the purple worm's turn. Oh yeah, that's why. So I don't know if this helps. I don't know if this works. I don't know. I think you're going to take half acid damage since it's dead. Because, like, the acid is still in its mouth. That seems fair to me.
Oh, it's in its mouth and doesn't come from its teeth.
It's like it's got ducts, I think. You take 8 points of acid damage. That's when it's halved.
Okay.
All right, and then it is Jackson. It's your turn. And then the acid has dried up now that it's been dead. Jackson.
Okay.
It's your turn.
I'm going to attempt to acid splash the rat armored drow. It's a DC 17 dex save from him.
All right. 25. Steps out of the way.
Yep, he takes nothing, and I'm going to move 5, 10 feet to here. That's my turn.
All right. Next up, it is Kaisho. He is going to move here, and he is going to slash at you with his Sorajato. It's 27.
That hits.
So you will take 28 points of damage. 15 of it is cold. 13 of it
Okay.
piercing. And then he is going to make a second attack, trying to aim for a specific weak point in your armor. That is a 34.
Wow. Yeah.
So that is 25 points of damage. 13 of it cold. Yeah, and you notice he was bloodied and he is no longer bloodied. That was my bad. I should have clued you all in. After he hits you, it seems like something happens where some of his wounds seem to have closed up just a little bit. All right, and that is actually no. He is going to do the same hand motion, one hand up over his head, down with one finger up, and there's a puff of smoke, He appears right here. So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, Khalid.
Mm-hmm.
That
Wait, I didn't
is,
see where. Oh, there he is. Never mind.
failure. You take 18 points of acid damage.
Do I add my protection aura to it? Whenever you or a friendly
Yeah.
creature, so it's 17.
17 is a success. You do not take any damage.
Nice.
All right, then that is his turn. Biff, it is yours. So you have to use 20 feet of your movement to get out.
Might be muted, Zach.
For one cast of Dimension Door, which is what I'm going to do. It only requires verbal component. So I'm going to shout my little spell word, and I'll end up over here on top of this bone. And going to cast Cure Wounds on myself. And a third level on that. And get back 11 health. That's my turn.
All right. Then next up, it is Khalid.
So I'll move up to him, and I'm going to use my charger feat to get the +5 bonus on my attack.
Choke.
So that's 23.
23 hits.
And I will use a 2nd level Divine Smite with this, and yeah. 3d8. 7 damage. I'm sorry, 27 damage.
Okay. You cut and you see that he is bloodied again, and then there's like a little bit extra given to him.
I, without speaking, attack again. This time without +5. 16.
That will miss. He turns your sword with his much shorter and smaller one.
Okay, and I will third attack. 22.
22 will hit.
And I'll do the same thing with my Divine Smite level 2.
Okay. You cut his mask with this hit. 17 plus 13, 30.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you cut his mask on his face and draw this line of blood that you see is like blue. And you see that he is a drow. He has monolids, unlike the leader of the pack. And he has wider nostrils, but he is definitely from the below, as they call it.
Okay.
All right. Then there we go. He is very bloodied. Next up, Zakar, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to slide down the side of the rock here now. Bonus action hide. That shouldn't be at advantage, so 19. And then I will pop out and shoot.
Okay. You do not have advantage this time.
Okay. And I'm not going to use sharpshooter. That's 27. That's 17.
27 will still hit.
Okay. And that is 13 piercing and 4 fire, so a total of 15 with fire halved.
Okay. Yeah, he is looking really, really bad.
Okay. How much movement did I end up using then, Ben? We decided it took 10 to get down, right?
Yeah, 10 to get down.
Okay, so this is 20 to get to where I'm at now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to use an additional 20 to go to here. So that's my full turn.
Okay. Next up, then, it is Jackson. It's your turn.
I'm going to use my full movement to get myself there. And I'm going to hold out my hand, and then my little thing for poison spray comes out and douses his face in poison.
All right, and he had
Fools, you say?
9 health. So, with his face now exposed, you blow this poisonous gas into his face, and he coughs, and he spits up like he's puking liquid, and it's just this like bright shining silver, and then he falls back onto the ground, dead.
Yeah, good song. Cool song. What was that? The Five Guys Burgers and Burnt Goose.
Well, don't speak ill of Five Guys. The best burger to come out of Zeshin in 20 years.
I'm gonna remove what's left of his mask from his face.
Yeah.
And do I recognize him at all?
No,
Okay.
but he seemed to know who you were.
Does he have any markings that feel like new pack or anything like that?
No, doesn't seem to be that. That doesn't seem to be his motivation.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Zone of Truth over Tall Knife, like where he's standing now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to approach him with purpose and say, Tall Knife, did you know about this?
He fails his save, and he says, "No. No, why the fuck would I come here if I knew that somebody was walking around with a fucking death worm?"
All right.
And
What about you? I'll nod towards this guy. It's a 15-foot radius, so
Yeah,
I
he
think
he has also failed. We knew, but he told us that he would kill us if we told anyone that we were traveling with, that he was here to kill a man from the south, and that we were tailed by a death worm.
all right.
We are at your mercy. It is
He's telling
shameful
me-
what we did.
I mean, I think they did try and warn us in the last moment. I guess gives them a little bit of grace.
They're telling the truth, and he was clearly a deadly man. I find no fault in their actions. But Khalid, what do you think?
I'm not sure. He seemed like he knew who I was. I do not know who he is, though.
My God told me that perhaps the brother of the man that you killed came to find you. And I'm lying, so I guess that's a deception. 18.
I don't do an insight check. I would never assume that you're lying to me.
Well, really, did you accidentally just step into the zone of truth, Zakar? You're in the zone of truth.
Biff, you get 43 health.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
That's over a minute.
Gotcha. So yeah, while we got you in that zone, you guys know that song he was talking about? It actually kind of sounded pretty good.
I think he was talking about us.
Yes, we weren't familiar with it.
Well, that's a shame. Maybe I'll just have to write it.
Did he say anything else about our friend here, Khalid, or the desert?
I'm gonna search his body for a note, like a Dark Brotherhood note that says "Kill Qualid."
As you are searching, make an investigation check. But he says, "I did." He said that it was a blood pact. that he was sworn to kill a man that had been killed by a man from the south and his companions. The two of them had sworn that if anyone but the other killed them, then the other would take vengeance. It's a custom for marriage where he comes from, with your in-laws, apparently.
Hmm. Were there
Can we-
any others here like him?
No, he hired us at night time, and we have been traveling mostly at night. He came alone. It was only on the second day that we were in the desert that we realized that he was in control of that.
Khalid, what was this number that he spoke of? 17.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't
You find
resonate with me.
a warrior's poem on his body that basically just mentions something that is familiar to what Gray, the drow knight, told you. And it is essentially about the fact that all of the drow have entered a state of basically like induced coma. But each of the 3 drow kingdoms, they have left themselves a handful of soldiers to keep the sleeping ones safe in case the others should attack. The drow little girl snuck by that amount, basically. But you get the sense from his poem, he mentions the 17 sentinels. Once 18 is what he says.
Yeah. It seems like it may be the waking drow that protect the sleeping. There's 16 now.
So, I'm gonna also look through some of his belongings, and I'm using detect magic. I want to see if there's anything that would have conjuration or enchantment on it that might have been used to control the worm.
Yeah, so you find he has a amulet on, and it is basically like this. It's like us. It's like way too big to wear around your neck comfortably. Like the size, it's like a Flava Flav clock sized thing. I'm just joking. It's a little smaller than that, but not
Yeah,
by much.
boy.
And it's kind of just like this panel, and you can see that there is a crescent moon on one half of it. And the sense that you get from it is that it is a conjuration spell is woven into the amulet. Not a conjuration spell that you are familiar with, but certainly one of them. And with some time intuiting it, you can understand that this was used to aid something else that he could do. And that's how he was controlling the worm.
Interesting. I'd like to hold on to that and maybe learn more about it or figure out how to use it.
Be careful with that. You don't want to just go around putting random amulets on. Remember what happened last time.
That's a good point. Khalid, would you wear this for me?
Khalid,
Yeah.
that seems like a fine blade. Perhaps you would like to take that as well.
Yeah. Is it a sword or is it a like a knife or a dagger?
It is functionally a sword.
So it's not a Guandao.
It's not a Guandao.
But no! Natural 20, I kill this guy. You're dead!
It's like Regis Philbin. And now you're dead!
Yeah, I'll pick it up. I'll feel it. I'll feel the weight of it.
Alright, so you will be able to use it without your proficiency bonus unless you train with it pretty regularly. And there is a chance until you are proficient with it that you could break it.
Does that feel like It's just not a weapon that I'm used to using. Does it feel more like it's a Zakar type weapon?
It feels like it is a weapon that no one you know can use. Like it seems like the formation of it, you have to strike in very specific ways.
Can you
Okay.
describe it again, real quick, Ben?
It's basically like a katana.
Okay,
But
cool.
it's shorter and it's got it's like straight. It's still only
Yeah.
single edged, and there is like no cross guard. It's like a ninjato.
Right on.
Well, apparently it's made of paper.
It is very thin. Steel folded over itself a whole lot.
I'll hand it to Zakar.
No, Khalid, you should keep this.
It's too light. It doesn't feel like I'm holding it. It wouldn't work for me.
Biff, would you be interested in it? You're pretty good with those light, sharp weapons.
Yeah, but just can't see myself giving up an old tree needle here.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Well,
Well,
I've tried to offer weapons to Biff before. They do not like them.
I'll take it if you don't want it, but I've already gotten a very powerful magic weapon, and then Aaron would feel bad if he took two of them. So,
I mean, so do I. I think Mage Killer is pretty good.
yeah, that's true.
well,
You know,
if somebody
any
if
mages.
no one else wants that tall knife, I'm happy to take it.
No, that's all right. I'll take it.
I didn't see you in the battle at all. Where were you?
Well, you didn't hire me to fight a deathworm. Sorry.
No, we hired you to take us safely to our destination, and you didn't seem to keep us safe.
Well, we
Look,
decided
we
to go
didn't ask
towards
him
the fire.
to fight
Yeah.
for us, so I wouldn't blame him. Not everybody is amazing like us.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he'd really hold up much in a fight anyway. So
Well,
Oh,
then
aye.
I'm just saying that maybe he should pay us for keeping him safe from a death worm.
I
Well, hey,
got to higher ground, so I think I would have been just fine.
look at it this way: we now
No,
have,
that thing's pretty tall. I think it would have got you.
we now have 2 additional guards for no additional cost, right, boys?
That's right.
So I mean, we're still getting. We really seem to be concerned about the value of this we're getting on this package. I think that
Just remember, there was a giant ape that I dispatched up very quickly.
Yeah. So we're here for like 6 seconds.
I'm just playing. Have a duck. I have many.
And as you all make camp for the night and take a long rest, so you're back to full. Unless you decide not to take a full rest, but let's just say that you do. We'll go for our 5-minute break.
All right.
Alrighty.
BRB.
Man, oh man, I thought you all might die.
Yeah, that was looking pretty grim for a second until I did 100 damage in a turn.
Yeah, yeah. I should have let it do its perception check instead of saying no. I think it's like there's stuff moving right next to it, so it wouldn't pay attention to something moving further away. But hey, sometimes I'm not tactically sound in my decisions.
No, yeah, that was a great fight though. I like that.
Yeah, I liked making him a whole lot. He's just a non-player class called Shinobi.
Ah, did you design that class or did you find it?
I designed what features he has.
Yeah, right.
My idea is that it would basically just be like it does like 3 things, but it does them all really good. Like,
Yeah.
If a player was going to play it, it would be like, well, you get to do this at level 5, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then you
right.
don't get to do anything cool until like level 11, and then you get to do that, and that's pretty cool. And then like level 15.
Nice.
It is burning hot in Kentucky. I don't know what it's like for you, but like I'm miserable just walking the 20 feet to my car.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Definitely not as bad as other parts of the country right now. So that's good.
No,
But
I'm gonna complain about people who live in climates that never get hot, being hot, hotter than I am for the first time in like 20 years.
yeah. What? Wait. So you said your air conditioning broke too? Then?
Yeah, it's like the house is very old,
Yeah.
and so it's just broken down, and we have a like in-home air conditioning unit that I carried upstairs today. So
Yeah.
we've got that piping air in from outside, and that's really nice. It's just also quite loud, and my 15-pound dog does not like it very much.
How did they do with the fireworks yesterday? Or were there any near you?
Yeah, a ton.
Yeah.
The little dog is surprisingly okay with it, especially considering she like hates thunderstorms.
Yeah.
But she was okay. The big dog just wants to go out and yell. Like he's not as upset. Like he's not scared. He's like,
Mhm.
I want to kill you for making
Yeah.
noise outside of my house.
Right.
And I say big dog. He's 34 pounds. he's
Right. Sure.
he's half corgi. He's not big.
Hmm.
Yeah, my little dog is afraid of thunderstorms. She didn't used to be, but she was outside when a lightning bolt that was like out of the blue hit the tree in our backyard.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so now anytime there's a crack of thunder, she's just like, I don't care if it's not raining. I don't care if it's the storm
Yeah,
is
right.
a mile away. That could come at any time.
Yeah. I was on campus last week because I'm like slowly moving down, and there was this horrible rainstorm that started, and I was waiting out the storm under like the front of a building, but there was somebody walking across the street, and there was lightning that struck really, really close, like on campus, and she dropped her umbrella and screamed and ran in the opposite direction. And yeah, it was very comical. It was very loud though. It was scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's just
Yeah.
a reminder that, any given Sunday,
Yep.
Zeus could kill you.
Sorry, I was a little slow at the beginning of that fight.
That's all right. I'm gonna run to the restroom. You and I were the only ones who were clocked in, so you and I are
Yeah.
we're drowsy.
Yeah, I just forgot like everything my character does. I don't know why.
Yeah, probably should plan the polymorph a little better next
No,
time.
you're
Should've sprung
fine.
that on you.
That was a good first attack.
Yeah, that did a lot of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, and their multi attack does, I think, 6d10 total if they hits with both.
Yeah,
wow.
3d10 each. But I felt like the throwing thing made more sense.
Yeah.
At the time. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool too.
It's a bigger hit.
Yep.
No, thanks for taking off early today, Brian.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm happy to
Yeah.
do that. I like taking off early.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's not too bad.
Dude, when I worked, we're not like recording right now, right?
I don't know.
Let me check.
I used
Yeah,
to work
we are.
for this.
We're on stream.
Okay. I used to work for this global company run by Nef Tezos. And
You worked at Tesla?
I worked at Tesla. Yeah. I worked for Elongated Musk. So they would you could just take time off, like it was just available all the time, and you
Yeah.
wouldn't get paid, but it was just there. And
Right.
I don't know, I didn't have a lot of bills at the time, so I was just I'd look in the morning and see what was available to take off, and I'd
Yeah.
work 1 hour a day sometimes.
Yeah, when I worked at a call center, they had that too, and I
Yeah.
never got to it in time. Like everybody was so fast to get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
We they just, if there's not enough work, they will just start saying to people like, hey, do you want to leave? It won't affect your time off balance. And it's pretty much like even the people who come in and actually do overtime if on their scheduled shift they offer it, pretty much everybody's just like, yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
have
fine.
never not taken it. I've been
It's
working
amazing.
there for 10 months, and I've just been like, yep, every time.
Getting off early is the best. Like, I can flex time in 15 minutes early, and I'm still working the same amount of time, but I can just leave 15 minutes before everyone else. I'm just like
Yeah.
walking past everybody. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I was here at 6:30 anyway, so
All right, let's jump back in. So you all wake up in the morning, feeling bright-eyed
Wake
and
up.
bushy-tailed.
Makeup.
I'm gonna grab my keys and put on a little makeup.
You
Uh,
wanted to. All right, let's not talk about Nathaniel's favorite bands.
are we done with the monkey shines now?
For now.
Well, I feel good. Let's let the bodies hit the floor.
I imagine that sometime during the night, last night, I would have helped Jackson get whatever he wants out of this worm. By the way,
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and yeah, I will have funneled my 6th level spell. Or did I use that?
You cast
yeah.
Thunderwave at a 6th level.
Cast Thunderwave. So I won't empower my weapon this time.
Okay. You Jackson, make me a medicine or a nature check, and Tall Knife
Okay.
also lets you all know that the tongue is like very high quality meat, but it can also be used to like brew some good stuff.
Nope.
Brew some good stew.
I'm gonna retrieve my mask before they get guts all over it.
So I was trying to get some of that toxic
well,
spittle.
would he have had
Oh, yeah,
advantage for
sorry.
that since?
You do.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I had meant to say that. I'm sorry.
Not much better.
Thank you for reminding me. Aaron.
Yeah, and what I was attempting to get was some of its toxic spittle.
Oh, you
Some
like toxicity?
I teleport away.
Finally, he's leaving me.
Hey, hey, Brian,
Well,
can you message me an
I
explanation
teleported
of the
to
joke?
your god's realm.
What was the wait? What?
Can you message me an explanation of that joke?
You're not down. You're not down to clown, man.
Sure I am. You managed to get a small vial of its poisons. They've dried a little bit by the time that you get to it after discussing the fate of the clansmen and the drow.
And one other thing, with the silvery spit up that the guy puked out before he died, I'm gonna clump up some of the sand that it fell on and take that.
You can make a medicine check just to see if you can figure out what that is.
Oh, now I roll good.
All right, you pretty much figure out that seems like this guy consumed a type of potion pretty much every day of his life. It seems like this was what he had consumed of it that day, popping back out.
Interesting. I think this might be what made him so fast.
The properties of it are pretty much, that's... it was somehow enabling his fast twitch muscles to react quicker than they would naturally be able to.
Yeah, he was smoking weed, guys. We've got to get him out of the Olympics. Performance-enhancing drug.
Alright, but Tall Knife is ready to take you all on. And it seems like the other two Sudun tribe members are going to be helping you out.
Nice.
I'm going to squeeze a little of the cactus milk and mix a little wine in with my water canteen. And I'll just be sipping on that while we travel.
Alright.
I'll be on top of Keith.
Yeah, okay, so Biff starts rolling. And Biff is in a Big Lebowski dream sequence. And you all start to make your way forward.
How do the Sadoon tribe members react to him? Would you say that they hate him because they see him rolling?
Yep. And
I'd love to have a shower right now. You know how I hate to ride Keith dirty.
You definitely don't want to be caught that way.
You'll never catch me riding dirty if I
Can I
can help
say,
it.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one of us who's not in the goddamn bit gulag right now. You all make it further. You take another short rest in the middle of the day.
During that short rest, I'm gonna put some more thought and time into that amulet, whatever that means.
Okay. So basically, what you see in it is that it is a spell that effectively allows you to cast multiple conjuration spells at the same time, if they are for the purpose of controlling something that is conceivably more powerful than you.
Okay.
So like there are other spells that fall into that, like Animal Friendship. You can cast it at the same time as you cast another conjuration spell. But you can't like use that out of combat or in combat. Sorry. It's like you can take a little bit of time with it to basically use a combination of spells to bend something really powerful to your will.
Hell yeah.
And I'm gonna take that time to practice some with my new sword-like weapon.
All right. Yeah, and you get a sense that it's pretty good. Can you make a dexterity just check?
Yep. That's a 7.
Okay. So you feel like you kind of get the hang of like how to hold it in the same way that he was holding it, but
Yep.
you're not quite sure like which part of the blade is actually meant to be the the leverage point in a strike.
Yeah.
But that's like 1 notch on a 5-notch timer.
Sure.
And you all keep going in the desert.
I want to use that time to create a backstory for my ducks.
All right. let's get down the line.
No, let's go.
So
Let's
you
move.
all
Let's move
keep going through the desert, and towards the end of your day, you can see you're gonna have to take another long rest, but you can see that there is a canyon ahead of you. And Tall Knife lets you know that that is where you are going. It goes pretty deep, but it's not any higher than what you're walking on. And you can see the bottom. Unlike this picture, there is no water at the bottom. Whatever there was that made the canyon, that has long since dried up. And you all know where you're going tomorrow. There's another long rest.
This time I will focus my spell into my dulcimer.
All right.
Okay, before we go to sleep, then I am going to wear the amulet, and I am going to spend a 6th level spell slot on instant summons and a 5th level spell slot on conjure elementals and a 2nd level spot for Misty Step. And I want to see if there's something I can find that I conjure with that combination.
All right. So are you trying to like make a stronger elemental for the instant summons?
Well, I don't. Instant summons is different.
Oh, right.
I'm
My bad.
not quite sure what you mean by how this works. So I'm just experimenting.
So it doesn't seem like this has worked, but you do feel like you feel like with the amulet on, your elemental is not just like friendly to you, but it's like loyal to you. It's like your road dog.
Okay, could you explain that more because
You feel like if your concentration was broken, the elemental might not attack you every turn. Like there might be something
Okay.
keeping it from trying to kill you.
gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
Alright.
Everyone gets 10 good berries.
Alright.
Sweet, thank
Everybody
you.
gets 10 good
Nice.
berries. Biff like a good halfling. Biff like a good halfling has eaten all of his all their good berries at once. And tomorrow morning it is time to dip yourselves into the canyon. So Tall Knife is leading the way, and the two other Sedun tribes members are very much not interested in going in, but they are going in behind you all. Very trepidatiously looking over their shoulder every few moments. And it is a long walk down to actually get into the canyon. And you haven't been going very long before you start to notice the sun glinting off of things that look like silver and things that are this sort of bright, bright green.
Khalid, should we let these men go? They aren't adding much and
Yeah,
just putting them in danger.
yeah, we don't need them.
If we made one come with us, that way we knew the one that we don't make come inside will at least stay.
Hey, short sword, you're coming with us. You other two can leave, I guess, right? Or
Gone, get
Yeah, that's
Get-
what I was thinking.
get out of here. Mama said we can't have you anymore.
Don't you see that nobody wants you anymore?
Thank you for your mercy.
White fang them.
I'm gonna try to stay hidden behind these fellas here. I got a 15 on stealth.
Don't worry there, lads. They're not gonna move.
do you want to get in the baby
No.
Bjorn?
These are the Iron Men. Yeah, actually, well, I guess I'm on Keith. Never mind. I wouldn't be.
And
They would-
so you do notice that they are following you with their eyes. And they are all just basically like formed, very muscular men. They look like they're from all over, like their features and stuff. They all have unique appearances, but they just sort of watch you go with their eyes, their colorless silver eyes. And then you notice that these large crystal outcrops that are everywhere. You can see that they are very familiar. The hag's den that you fought in, the strange green lung that you saw, it was the same material as this.
This looks like that. What was it? A dead god? One of the old gods? It looks like it's made of the same. Watch my back. And I'm gonna touch a hand to it.
Okay.
Just as I thought. Worthless.
Well, yeah, like I said, nothing's gonna hurt you down here. It's just what happens if you go inside. You're not very likely to come back out.
You turn into one of these?
No, they've been here since before anyone knew what was inside or even had an inkling. Since the end of the war.
As we go past them, I'm gonna be casting minor illusion on them to give them like silly makeup faces, and that kind of stuff.
Alright.
Make them look like juggalos.
Do I sense any spirits on them?
No. You do not.
Okay. And from the crystals, is there any like spiritual?
You do get a celestial divine sense from them.
Okay.
You get the name of the feature from them.
Perhaps we should Get past this quickly, because as much as I trust you, you also haven't been through here with the likes of us. Things like to come after us.
All right. And as you go forward, you see there are more of them. You notice that the crystals are starting to get much, much bigger as you've been traveling through the canyon for like an hour and a half. You notice there is this massive bull-like skull where the crystals are growing through one of its eye sockets. You notice wings that have to belong to a young dragon that are long fossilized. Sorry, Jackson.
I was just going to say, this reminds me of that cult with the minotaurs and the undead. Looking at the giant bull skull.
Yes, sir. Maybe something even bigger got very hungry.
Does this look like a wing?
Yeah, it could only belong to a dragon at that size.
Wow. I know this great man who killed a dragon.
Nobody's
He's the hero. He's the hero of his story.
Nobody's killed a dragon in 50 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
No,
actually,
we killed one.
it's only been a few weeks since someone killed a dragon.
Oh. Well, I might have given you better odds against the Deathworm then.
Yeah, we're not really people to be fucked with.
Yeah, I don't know if you were watching while we fought the worm, but Biff went inside of it, made it explode.
Aye, that's not a strategy I would have used. Zakar, when you pass this soldier, his face looks like eerily similar to your own.
And then clown makeup spreads from the center of it.
Is this what it's like to become the Joker?
Oh no, Zakar was drill pilled. That's the first step to becoming Joker pilled.
To become a Joker-fied? Yeah.
this whole canyon is a society.
I need some steps for Zakar to dance down.
Oh, I create light steps.
Little known fact, becoming a statue like this is what happens to comedians that are canceled.
Nick DiPaolo.
If only.
Has anyone cast magic in here?
I mean,
Yeah,
Biff's
Biff's been doing
Biff's
it.
been doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Actually,
that's right.
I don't know if retroactively I could say this, but I would just be doing this with my dulcimer, I guess. Where I'd be practicing the illusions of him.
I think that when I see it, I kind of self-consciously like smooth out my mustache some and try to get it to look as good as the silver one in front of me. But I don't know if I linger too long in front of it.
All right.
Do you guys see that? It looks a lot like me.
Yeah, it is good looking.
Yeah, I could do your makeup that way if you wanted to adopt that as a style. It's not a bad look.
No, I don't.
Perhaps
that's
we
okay.
could take it with us, and then we could, you don't have to worry about people finding you. We can lay it in a bed, and they'll think it's you.
Yeah,
You can be
Maybe.
safely across the street.
yeah. We'll think about that while we're inside. I think.
Yeah.
All right. And as you move even further, you come to a point where the canyon kind of opens up, and it goes around this large crop of rock that you will have to climb a hill to enter. What you see is a small opening. And at the foot of the hill, Tall Knife just sits down, says, "Right, I'll wait on here for you for 2 days, then I'll make my way back."
Okay. You all ready?
How large does this, like whatever this is entering into this cave or whatever? Does it seem like it's
It's pretty
very
big.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 40 feet high.
Okay. And like, do I get a sense of how far in it goes?
It seems like it goes like it's 40 feet wide and it's like 100 feet deep.
Okay. Jackson,
Sorry, it's like 100 yards deep.
Yes.
does your friend have like an item that you also carry? Something similar?
Well, this patch that I wear, and I show the blackbird symbol inside of a golden circle, and we both used to wear this patch. Perhaps she is wearing it now.
Okay, I'm gonna focus on the patch and cast locate object and see if I get a feel for it.
Jackson, can you roll a d4 for me?
Sure.
1 and 2, she still has it on.
It's a
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, you get a sense that about halfway into the structure, it's there.
I believe she's inside. Let's go.
All right.
Keith, how you feel about this, buddy? Are you coming? You feel safe coming with us? Or you want to wait here with the long blade? Does Keith seem trepidatious at all? I don't want him to come if he's not feeling good about it.
Keith actually seems okay going in.
Okay. So, all right. See you and me, Keith. Let's do this.
All right. I ask each duck.
They are they? You know what they are? They're made of wood, Brian.
When you say they're wooden, is that like they're trepidatious?
They have
or-
they have no expression. They seem once more into the breach, dear friends. We're ducks.
I'm assuming it's dark in here. That's why I said I casted dancing lights. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So,
gonna.
I'm gonna keep it just a little bit ahead of us, like maybe 5 or 10 feet ahead of us. The dancing lights, just so we can see ahead.
Well, I guess that's not an orb. Never mind. I'm not gonna do that.
This entrance
don't
is
prestidigitation.
lewd.
It's a lewd bit.
Yeah.
It's a lewd entrance.
I can't design caves without them being sexual.
Sometimes you can design them with them being racist, Ben.
For someone who took pains to make sure that wasn't shown, you sure love bringing it up.
Do you guys remember when it was that 3-tiered map and each one was the shape of a K?
Ketamine. All right.
So Jackson's going to be like, oh, I just want to warn you that Allison is pretty powerful and really smart, so we might want to check to see if she's put up any kind of like arcane traps or anything.
Can you communicate with her?
Not unless I know exactly where she is, and I'd have to be kind of close. I would need to be about 120 feet from her and know where she was and what direction.
All right. So you all start to make your way in.
Yes.
All right, and so you all are making your way through.
Cool.
There are points in the sort of natural corridor that's formed where there's kind of like holes in the walls, and you can see further, and you can hear this like dripping through them. And you turn and you can see just like the same green color as those crystals outside. You can see that it's like flowing at points downward And then you can also see it dripping off of like hanging spikes, still whichever of the stalags hang. They're like,
That's
And
like
these are
not in,
stalagmite.
but they're not in the like none of that dripping green is inside of the walls. They're like on the other side of walls.
they're like looking through the holes of the walls. You see like other chambers or hallways and that sort of thing, and they are there.
Mhm. Okay.
You might be able to reach some of it, but it would be difficult. Like it would be a risk with your old arm.
Well, then luckily I will pick up my little familiar bug and say, "Little buddy, see if you can go in there and use your little divine touch and see if that does anything." And I wanted to crawl through and like try and touch like just like a little bit, like where maybe it dripped onto the ground or something, or touch a wet stalagmite wet with the green stuff.
All right. Yeah, it goes in, and you suddenly feel like you could cast Find Familiar again, and you wouldn't have to say anything or move your hands in any way.
Even if I didn't have it prepared.
You would have to have it prepared, but
Okay.
it's it feels like the component parts of a spell. It's like not even an issue at that moment.
Hmm. Interesting.
Ben, I'm just keeping an eye out for traps, I guess, or like weaknesses in the structural integrity of the cave, or whatever, like that sort of thing. So my passive perception's 20 if you want that, or I can roll.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll.
Okay. It's 22.
All right. Yeah, you see there is a little bit of copper wire that is on the ground ahead of you. It's just like a trip wire, basically.
Yeah. Careful, there's a tripwire ahead, and I'll motion towards it.
Okay, I'll send out my dancing lights until they get to the spot where he sees them so that we all know where they are.
Yeah.
You should be able to just step over it.
Keith, be careful. Watch,
I
watch,
want to.
watch the line, buddy. Watch the line.
I want to keep pace with Biff and Keith to make sure they're in my aura as we move.
Cool. Yeah, I'm off Keith, but yeah, I'm just kind of falling behind Quali and trying to stay hidden behind him, I guess.
You do hurdles with Keith over the wire. All right, and you all can step over the wire if you choose.
I choose.
I do choose.
All right.
I so choose.
Alrighty, and doesn't seem like there's any other defenses or anything like that laid out. And as you grow closer to what you see, a light source ahead of you. So the dancing lights are sort of bouncing off of what seems like natural sunlight. You start to hear this like soft music.
Did I recognize the music at all?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Biff might recognize it.
Is that the song that the guy was trying to hum?
Do I recognize it? Yeah.
Make a history check.
History. 13.
You do not. You can tell that it's Elvish. All of you can tell that, actually.
Okay. Well, I'm going to kind of hum counter charm bard ability. Just going to kind of hum counter notes to whatever I'm hearing, just in case.
Okay. And you all cross a threshold and see before you, chained to two massive rocks, there is a massive, massive woman. She has orange skin, but this long red hair. She has tattoos on her face. Like she has a tattoo of a blue hand that starts at her chin and goes up with 2 of the fingers going over the eyes. The middle finger going up the bridge of the nose. She is chained up. You see that she is bleeding out of a wound at either side between like her hip and her rib cage. You see that she is young. She's beautiful, but you can immediately tell that this is not a witch or not a spirit. You can see that she's kind of sitting, listening to the music. You also see Allison Starr Jackson. You see she is sitting on over on this like stone bench that seems to be here for some reason, and she next to her has this small circle, and that seems to be where the music is coming from. There's just like an iron disc that's sitting next to her. And over in the far corner, you see a man who looks like he is from Agjum, and he is sitting and writing at a desk that seems to be made out of pure light. The light that is coming in from above you is coming in through holes that are casting these wide beams down into the room. And you can actually see that the blood that is dripping from the wounds at her side, it is gold. And it hits the ground, and it seems to go into these like troughs that seem to have eroded over time and go into the walls around her. And when you all enter, no one says anything at first as you've walked in.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself, and no, just on myself.
Oh, this guy looks like an elf, but his ears are extremely, extremely long, and his cheekbones are extremely, extremely sharp, by the way. There we go. Biff goes invisible.
Carl, what is happening? Who is this?
Allison's huge.
She does have red hair, but she's not that big.
Yeah, Allison looks very different, Jackson. She looks like she's aged a considerable amount in the time that you've been separated. Her hair has gone gray with like streaks of white, and her skin is like really gaunt.
Did she respond when I stepped up and?
She looks over at you. Jackson, what are you doing here?
Well, I heard that you were here, and so I figured I'd come and say hello and see if you needed anything. Why did you not return?
To what end have you arrived here, Jackson?
Well, you never know what you might find in a place like this. It seems you found something pretty delicious.
Indeed. Come, sit down. She pats the bench next to herself.
So they're both.
Sorry, Mister. I've been traveling with those folk over there. They've helped me find quite a deal. Some very powerful things that could further our cause.
Hello.
Have you been back to our sanctum?
No, I've been rather preoccupied.
Well, I guess it's not much different from this place, but I found old body parts of a dead god. They're very large, and I've created a permanent door between our sanctum and where some of these body parts are.
She coughs, and it looks like she kind of like vomits in her mouth. And then she swallows. What body parts of an old god? Where did you find it?
Well, It was almost luck, to be honest, though. I guess a true skill sometimes look like luck. But we chased a hag that wronged us, and it turned out behind her lair there was some sort of I don't. I'm sorry, Ben. I forget what the body part that we assumed it was.
I think it was a lung.
Yeah, I think so too.
I believe it was the lung of some ancient dead god.
Don't get any closer. And when you step there, the woman blinks twice, and a lucidity seems to return to her, and she like lunges forward on her chains and stops like right in front of you, with her face that is like 5 times yours in size. And she looks down. Oi, what the fuck are you then? What the fuck's going on? What? Addison, turn off the fucking music. I told you if we got guests that I wanted to be able to know what they were doing.
Wait, is this the giant woman that's saying that?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. What? Who the fuck are you then? She says that to you, Zakar.
Oh, I'm Zakar. Hello.
What?
You
How
don't
many-
seem like a witch.
I'm not a witch. I'm a god. You little shit.
Well, everybody says you're a witch. I'm sorry.
Oh, then everybody's a fucking idiot then. How many people are in here right now?
Oh, well, that's Jackson, and we have Khalid back there as well.
And there's 3 ducks and a fox.
And then that fellow one hasn't said
There's
anything.
ducks in a row.
That fellow one hasn't said anything. Nobody comes in here for 700 years. But now all of a sudden I've got more guests than I know what to do with. I'd put out some food for you, but you have to understand that I've been starving for thousands and thousands of years. What are you here for? What are you trying to get from me? I know what Allison wants, but what do you all want? I don't want anything. I've already gotten what I came for.
Well, I mean, it looks like you're well on your way to what we wanted to do here. This
Ben,
God is working for you now?
It's more complicated than that, but in the long story, yes.
can you? I'm doing an insight on Allison and just the general vibe that, like, does she want Jackson there at all?
She's like she's happy to see him, but she's also
Okay.
it's like she was in the middle of some good thinking, and he's kind of annoyed her. It's like the time that Jackson spent away from her seems to be something that he's aware of, and she seems less aware of it.
Her microaggressions aren't saying, "Get this dude away from me."
Yeah, it's more like, I need to think. I need to do stuff.
Okay.
Well, look, if we're here, and we already have the cooperation of a god, perhaps we could figure out how to fully bring it in.
We're
I've learned so much and grown very powerful since you left.
That's good to hear. I'm sorry that you were hamstrung by my disappearance, and I apologize for not being in contact. But I've come into contact with another being is the wrong word. I've come into contact with nothing. And from there, I followed a trail that led me here.
Nothing.
Yes. Something that has described itself to me as the void. Destruction.
I was approached by such a thing.
Have you also spoken to nothing? To destruction?
I did not speak with it. It attempted to speak with me. but I decided to speak with something else.
Oh, well. You should have taken up
I
its offer.
spoke with a being.
Oh? The enemy of destruction. Creation, then.
Yes.
Or rather the maintenance of creation. Ah,
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. This is very good news.
indeed. Then we have both halves of a whole.
Yes.
Right, Allison, I told you to stop fucking talking in riddles. It's a waste of my own goddamn time. Been here since the beginning of time, by the way, and sometimes you still say shit that doesn't mean a goddamn thing to me.
Yes. And then I just decide to ignore the god, and I say, "And who is that different type of elf over there?"
I frankly don't know. He arrived here 2 days after I did, and he hasn't said anything. He's just been sitting there writing in that book.
Have you checked to see what he's writing?
Oh, yes, he's writing something about... something about, well, an alchemist, an archer, a masked man, and a singer.
Well, I mean, that would be my group.
Well,
I'm clearly the alchemist. Sakaar over there is a mighty archer.
And I'm a singer.
That's my friend. And those ducks are brilliant singers.
well, then that would explain why he was writing it in such a hurry. Perhaps he wanted to catch up to you. I saw that you fought a dragon in it. That was rather interesting.
Wait, when did you see that?
3 days ago, he wrote about a fight with a dragon.
And how long ago was it that we actually fought the dragon?
I mean, it was like several weeks.
Strange. Sir!
He puts up a finger to you with he puts up 2 fingers to you. Like, he puts up his hand, like, in a weight motion, and then he does 2 fingers.
Alright, I kiss his fingers.
Oh no.
I am gobsmacked at what to do with that. Hey, Brian, I'm godsmacked? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be the voodoo.
That's like a 90s band, right?
Uh-huh. It is.
Okay, you take 18 points of acid damage from the kiss.
Oh, ow. If anybody has healing, I'd wish to do that again. I'm just kidding. I did not say that. What? How much did you say it was?
18.
18. Okay.
Yes, he's been rather
Oh
unresponsive.
fuck.
Not an interesting conversational companion. Emir has provided... has provided much greater conversation, many more interesting things, secrets from before the dawn time. But
I have to know if Jackson took lip damage. Does Jackson's crustache look worse?
it looks better.
Okay, good.
It looks thicker now since I have red hair. The blood kind of in blisters kind of match it and make it look thicker.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, 18 damage straight to the mouth would not be a pretty sight.
It's kind of like getting your lips ripped off.
Just like raw Captain Crunch. Straight to the dome.
Hey, Zakar, Archerman.
Yeah.
What's a year?
It is. It's 666, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Zach? Yeah.
The year of the beast.
And I also give the exact time of day that it is.
Well, that I can't say I like what that person over there is doing, but I I am intrigued. What is happening right now with this, and how can I help?
Well,
And I would say that pointing to the situation with the god.
I have mainly used her for information at this point, but she has agreed to extend a relationship that she has offered to another individual beyond her prison to me. And therefore, my choice of which light fantastic I am able to bend at any given moment is much more open to me. Because of that, I will be able to hasten the arrival.
God,
Yeah, what is it, masked fella?
what is your name?
I'm Emma Snowborn, goddess of trickery. Should have been
And
war, but she
what
turns her head.
what's this chain situation?
Oh, it's my punishment.
For what?
I betrayed the old gods, and then betrayed the new, and then betrayed the old gods again. The new gods, when they won, thought, "Oh, she'll definitely betray us. It's gonna be our turn again real soon." So they decided to lock me up for all eternity.
Hence the trickery.
Well, that wasn't really my fucking choice. I wouldn't have done it if they hadn't given it to me. They should have given me fucking war. Everybody else went out to fight the end of our world with spells and other types of shit. I just had a magical fucking axe in my goddamn hands, and they didn't give me war. It was a waste. It was a waste of everything that I got going on. And
You still have that? You still have that axe?
no, they took it from me. Allison turns to you and says, "You see what I mean. She has a breadth of knowledge that no one alive could possibly muster. Except for perhaps," and she points at the elf riding in the corner.
E? Oh, wait, no.
There, you see him over there in the corner,
No, I
losing
see
his
it. I
religion.
see it. Jesus.
Is he one of the spotlights?
Jackson,
Oh yeah, there
have you
are beams of lights.
have you explained our plans to your companions?
I mean, since we don't have a lot of specifics since we last met, they understand what I wish for.
That's good. I believe that part of what we must do is enable other folk to witness acts of great courage. It is counterproductive to what we have generally considered to be our philosophy, but I found that sources of power could only get us to the height of mortal power. Beyond that, we must be proven to be powerful. It's a vicious circle.
Does that have something you think to do with him, since he's apparently writing about the deeds that I've done?
I don't know. Perhaps it could be, but I do not know if you and I are quite at the end of our time as dying creatures. Emir is watching you move, Zakar.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the chains.
Yeah, you notice that there are the chains all seem to be made of like different metals.
Mhm.
There's like a silk ribbon that is woven in with some of the chains, and some other stuff that isn't necessarily chain, but like other forms of binding. There's like roots you can see.
Is there anything on the columns?
They're not columns; they're like rods.
Oh, they're not columns.
But
Oh, okay. I see.
they do seem to be carved into like the exact same shape as each other.
Okay.
So I can't help but ask you this, but is it the void that is taking your time away from you?
In a manner of speaking, yes. I have spent a great deal of time on other planes.
Good.
The plane of air, in particular. I believe that
Things must be fast there.
indeed they do. And upon my return, I found that the fact that my changing of position was done by my pact with the Void, it seemed that I had lost time between when I entered and when I exited. Not as I have theorized the planes would do, but rather, in the moment of my changing from one plane to the next, I am held in place, aging for weeks at a time when I arrive a day later. I do not quite understand, but I've theorized that his enemy, being, is a master of time, and therefore I exist at the whims of someone who now wishes to halt progress.
That does make sense.
Are any of your friends religious?
Oh, very much so.
Oh,
I scoff. From behind Quilita, I scoff.
Ah! Ah! What was that?
have you enabled
He,
them?
the fox, is a scoffer.
Ah. Have you made use of their god's power?
Very. I'm making headway towards it.
I am
unlike
my
you,
god's power, and
Yes.
you can't make headway with that, Jackson.
Well, here's the thing. I've not mastered it quite as well as you. I've not been able to travel into these planes, but I've been able to open windows to them. And from there, I can sometimes pass things through it, and so I've seen some of the face of Qualid's god, and I found this in his lands, and I just hold out my hand, and it shows the beetle. And Zakar gods are. I feel like they require much, but I've been working my way into their good graces.
Well, everyone does the work of Ashula Mazdan.
Oh. I've tried, and I cannot find a way to make use of his 5 arms, unfortunately, Jackson. I think that's a lost cause. Other gods are more free with their ability. I think the masked fellow, his god, if you've already seen his face, that could be a way to bind the god to your own service.
He hasn't, and he can't.
Certainly.
I'm
And
not
she's-
lying, Qualid. I'm not trying to hurt you.
She says, "Oh, of course not," and she smiles at you, Jackson.
Are we done here?
Well, I'm not sure what exactly is happening here, because you've said that you've traded their gift to another in hopes to get it for yourself here. Is that the deal that you've struck with this being?
No, this goddess, she has the power to expand one's arcane talents into multiple realms. You and I, we are students of the light fantastic, the weaving spells of the mind. However, now that I have accepted her presence inside of me, I am able to cast my spells in a different manner. I could cast my spells as he does, and she waves her hand at Qualid.
Hello.
The divine now rests in my hands as well.
No, it doesn't.
Is that what her blood flows? Is that what has come into you?
No, but that is the other value here. We have simply made an agreement, and she will enable me. Zakar, what you can see is he is writing about the 4 intrepids enter the blasted crop. So he is, like, caught up to you at this point. And she says, no, it is simply an agreement between herself and I that allows me to cast spells of a different nature. blood that she is shedding is useful in another manner. It will eventually create Limlac, the crystalline rock outside. Once diffused into powder, I will be able to use that in all manner of spells. The fact that everyone is so terrified of coming here means that I am able to use as much of it as I like.
Interesting.
How tall is the
This
woman?
is good news for sure.
Adonis?
She is like 30 feet tall.
I do have another question for you, not about this, but I've heard tale of something that might interfere with our plan.
Indeed.
There is one who apparently is drawing in the necessary power and items so that they may end the world and restart it anew. And if they do this, then
Doo-doo.
that
Nice.
might mean us not being able to complete our task.
Yes, whatever it is that this person has managed to find, we should take it from them.
Seems I can't imagine what foolish group of people would allow them to have some of these items and not have taken it away from him.
Certainly.
Probably some big dumb orc.
What have you done with your light steps, Quali?
I'm climbing up them to look at her in the face.
Yeah, and she's watching you, and she is still, like, groggy. But she's watching you. And you get a sense of familiarity. The light steps seem to... She, like, flashes remembrance, and she kind of, like, looks like she's about to growl, but then she just sort of gives up. And you actually feel like the moment that you retrieved these light steps, there's a moment of, like, yeah, you recognize this woman almost as, like, the companion of the dark force that was destroyed and able to help you in that room.
Do I feel like she's actually powerless right now?
At the moment, yeah, you do.
Okay.
Well, I suppose I shouldn't be interrupting you any longer, but if you have the means, please keep me updated with what you're doing. I think my next task is going to be seeing what's behind this war. There's probably more things such as this that could be found hiding in these secret politics.
Oh,
And
certainly.
maybe we could use that. And
I
also
would
the person I just spoke of. Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. You go ahead.
Also, this person we spoke of, perhaps I should. If I can learn more about him or something, perhaps I can take those items away from him.
Indeed. And I have my suspicions about the other person who she has granted her powers to. I believe that you would meet them in the course of your war. Zakar, looking over the elf's shoulder, you see that he is completely caught up. And he says, the intrepid only with a day before they would fight their second dragon above the canyon of the blasted crop.
Hey guys. This guy wrote in the book that we're gonna fight a dragon.
And then you
But
see...
We already fought the dragon.
No,
Yeah, he already wrote
a second dragon. No, a second dragon.
And then you see he is still writing, and he writes, "For they are cast away to meet the other 12 and prepare for their fight with the father of dragons."
Oh, and then we're gonna probably fight a third one after that.
And then
well,
he takes the book,
Dragons can give us some powerful stuff.
he closes his book.
Hello.
Hello.
How do you know about us?
My job is to chronicle.
Who gave you that job?
The last of my sisters, who gave her life. The last of the elven gods as they died. It is pleasant to meet you. My name is not important, but if you would like to know it, it is Masondo.
Masanda. Well, it's nice to meet you. And thank you for warning us about these dragons that are coming up.
Indeed, it is pleasant to make your acquaintance.
Have you only written about us?
No, I've written several stories.
Who are the 12?
There are others, a group of knights from Hallandor, secretive protectors of the natural world, and another group of intrepids such as yourself.
What have you been calling us in that book? Because we've been kind of workshopping names.
Yeah, what's the title of your book?
Well, your all section is Beef and Co.
I think,
They go,
Yeah.
yes.
that's about the best we've gotten so far, so that makes sense.
I have been tasked with chronicling all who could potentially be the once again. And you four, each of you there's a possibility that it could be any of you.
What does that mean?
It is, my last sister gave her life, after the world began to turn again on its axis, at the end of the War of Flame. She spoke and scrawled in her own blood a prophecy that one of the greatest champions of the mortals in the war between the old gods and the new would be reborn in a time when the world was nearing its end. They would be able to stave it off if they had support. That is why I am a chronicler. Myself and all of my siblings, we have been tasked with individual positions to ensure that that support is given. The prophecy speaks of the once again. The individual or individuals, I suppose, who would be able to bring down the father of dragons and... He kind of like looks down at the page for a second, then he gets back to eye contact. Our former leader.
Your former leader. Are you? You're not a dragon then, are you?
No. I am
oh.
I am an elf of the Elder Blood. But the elves of the Elder Blood, we all fought for the old gods in the war between the old and the new. The prisoner here before you, she is one of 2 living, 5 living old gods, but 3 are not a threat to the natural world. A mere chained is not. Lady Naya, the other old goddess who is imprisoned, she is a threat. And she is the other possibility of the end of mortal life as it stands.
Jackson, if Allison has created some sort of deal with this god, then she's maybe trying to use Allison to break free of these chains.
Oh, I absolutely am, yeah.
Yeah, see?
Oh, I'm aware of that. That was implicitly a part of our agreement, that if she could find a way to weasel out through me, she would.
I don't know if we can risk that.
Well, this. But what can be gained from this god is also worthwhile. It is something that could lead to stopping this world ender.
I'm just gonna whisper, "I don't believe in you."
Khalid, what do you think?
I mean, there's obviously something powerful here, but it's not a god. I don't quite understand this talk of other gods in this way. I mean, old gods. It seems silly. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this.
Have you not? And he flips back to a page. You see outside. It's like a chapter that is outside the dragon's den. And he says, "You have fought the forces of Lady Naya before."
But she's not a god.
Indeed, friend.
I mean, she's some kind of product of divine. I don't know. There's only one god.
Well, I pray that you are right, but when the time comes, I will do my duty and try to teleport you to the north.
Well,
But we're surrounded
nevertheless,
by a dragon outside right now.
There is not one. He shall arrive within 14 hours. Well, there will
Right
be
up.
there will be another dragon, but I do not believe that you are meant to fight. 2 dragons will arrive, but you will only have to fight one. I suppose
Right.
you could choose to fight the other. I would simply have to tear out the page, rewrite it.
Does that happen a lot?
It's happened quite a bit. There was a few pages that I wrote about a puppet show, and I had to.
Who's your favorite character in your book?
Ooh, that would definitely be. That would definitely be a halfling with a phoenix. No one any of you feel any connection to. Don't step to me.
How dare you?
No, I'm just kidding. It's the man who chopped 1,000 trees down with his golden
Yes.
axe. So you can killed a dragon. Impressive. No, I have no favorites. I'm a partial observer, forbidden to interfere, except for the specific instances where I meant to interfere.
Insight check.
All right.
Damn it. It's 13.
Yeah, he seems to be telling the truth there when he says that he's forbidden to interfere.
Well, should we set up some sort of trap? Seems
Ah!
like a pretty
Ah!
good idea.
Who's saying that?
I'm just gonna kind of like circle around Khalid as I'm speaking.
My cape.
well, I'm still worried about Allison and her connection to this god. Even if you don't believe she's a god, Khalid.
Well, what is it that you're worried about?
Well, if Allison unleashes this god, then she could do anything she wanted. She's
I could, and you know what
He's a
I would
god.
do? I would go and
Could
I would do a few tricks. I'd make people laugh. I'd go down and I'd fight like a mortal on the fields of battle.
Hey, tell me a joke.
No.
Fuck.
Zakar, I promise you it'll be okay. You've seen me bring things into this world and bend them to my will, and I can do that in a matter of moments with just little pieces of casting supplies. Allison sits upon a trove of lamlac and has been long working at this. You think she wouldn't be able to bend the situation to her will?
I assure you, this goddess would be under my control and not the other way.
But why do we want you to have control of a god?
What level are you?
I don't speak to those who choose to enter rooms without eyes.
Well, that's fine. I didn't really want to talk to you anyway.
If I had to grant a numerical value to what I am within the Alchemist Guild, I would say that I am 17, perhaps.
I could take her.
Look, Zakar, I'm not asking you to trust her, I guess, since you haven't met her before today, but I at least ask that you trust me.
Well, all right, Jackson. But be careful.
Oh, you know, I always think that I'm careful. I walk away.
Perhaps I could set you all at ease.
If? Did you say that?
Wait, is it just me, or does this guy never shut up?
What do you get? You got some drugs?
Hey, Bookman.
I do not. Yes, Qualid.
In your chronicles, does
Of Riddick.
this magic person? Yep. All right. I've changed my question. Vin Diesel.
My answer is yay.
Family. In your chronicles, does this magic user have control of a god?
I can only see ahead so far. In the time that I've seen, no, but I cannot see beyond 3 weeks from today.
Well, then you're gonna see some weird shit.
But I could put you all at ease. I could tell you of your impending victory.
Am I alive in 3 weeks?
Perhaps with losses, you are, but if things change, you might not be.
Well, I don't know I could put it that way.
I mean, that's very kind of you to want to share with us about our victory, but I'm pretty sure we all assume our victory. We are quite mighty, Biff and Co.
Perhaps if
Yeah,
I...
we
Go ahead.
Oh. I was just gonna say we didn't make it this far by losing.
Very well, then. I will not read the prophecy to you.
May I look into your book?
You may.
I'm gonna flip to the section where we bullied that musician.
There's a
I want to
part.
see if he was a bad guy or not.
Yeah, there's a part where it says, "Of course, this gentleman was," and then there's just a bunch of crosses out, and it's like you turn the page, and it's like 8 pages have just been scribbled over about after the musicians.
Is this god alive in your book? This
Yep.
one in front of us?
She is.
Does she play a part in anything?
In what is to come, she already has. One of you wields a weapon she had a hand in making.
Which weapon is that?
It is a hammer that brought down the gates of the final citadel in the War of Flame. Batterer, it is called.
We don't have anything of that sort.
One of the 16, I meant.
They
Oh,
sound pretty cool.
maybe one of them. Well, I suppose
The dragon is the most immediate concern to me.
Yeah.
I'm sure we don't win it by just sitting around waiting for it. Might do best to set up something to assault it with without.
False god.
yes.
I'm a real god, but what you got for me, little man?
No, you're not.
That's what a false god would say.
I have been in this world since the beginning of fucking time. What else would I be? What's your question?
Person. What are Naya's weaknesses?
She really loved that husband of hers, but he's dead. Then, I don't
Is her
know.
husband a god?
Oh yeah, it was one of the old gods. Y'all are going up against Naya. You're gonna be
mean-
you're gonna be fighting Naya.
She was brought up just now.
Oh well, you know she's pretty tough. She could probably she could have stood toe to toe against me back in the day, but not I don't know. I mean now I've been chained up and bleeding for eternity, so not really sure about that. But you know, there was always a chance that well, the lion heart was gonna be a part of it. Part of her downfall, and it wasn't in the war, so maybe it would be now.
The lion heart. What's that mean?
I don't know, but it was one of the prophecies that there used to be all types of gods. See, used to be gods for each of the different types of folk that were walking around, and one of the halfling gods was the god of time, and she told us all about how everybody was gonna die. And part of Naya's death involved somebody with a lion heart, a couple other folk, somebody who was half tusked. Don't know what that meant. What that meant. Spiders been walking around her, and storms that came alive.
Are you just saying every creepy thing you can think of?
No, I mean that's not. I mean spiders are creepy, but
Yeah. Storms are creepy.
storms aren't creepy.
I don't like them.
Well, you're a weirdo.
My clothes is all white. It's see-through. I don't like it.
That's true.
Yeah, you can really see his nipples whenever
Yeah.
we're in the rain.
I don't like people knowing that I have nipple rings.
Oh well, who does? You know, you get them and you think, oh well, nobody's gonna see it, and then you're like, that's probably a good thing.
Excuse me,
Yes.
my beautiful goddess here. Where is there a way to get to the top of this little plateau mesa?
You could stand on top of my. You could stand on top of my head, and I could stand up.
I'm not sure if these chains will allow you to stand up.
Oh, they will.
So what she's saying is, so what you're saying though is that the top of it is directly above your head.
Oh, if I stand up, you'd be able to crawl up one of the holes.
Well, perhaps it is time that we make our way up there. We wouldn't want these dragons to get in.
They're not going to be here for like a day. You all could sit.
Oh.
I haven't had anybody talk to me besides this one. And she points down at Allison. And all she's been doing is telling me about all the ways that she's going to bring me to the fields and demonstrate her power through me.
I don't know, it sounds like a pretty cool story to me.
Sure, but what? Have any of you all had great deeds in battle? You want to hear about mine? You want to tell me what it's like to eat something? Being drunk? Kissing somebody? Dancing? Fucking throwing an axe into somebody's head? I mean, anything. I'm wasted away in here, getting blood everywhere, and it's because I helped out you lot. I could have died in battle if I had just stayed next to Naya, but instead I decided that I would give you all a hand. I would teach you how to make fucking fire, teach you how to cook shit, and you all haven't. No one's brought any food in here for me.
I
Do you
mean,
want some booze?
I'd love some.
Yeah, I'll crack open. I guess they'll have a nice bottle of something. Yeah, I'll give her some of the aged moonshine. That'll probably do the best towards getting her drunk. I'll give her a whole
give it
bottle.
a shot.
Glit, 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 glit. It burns in the mouth, but I miss it.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll take a big drink of the other one.
Thank you, little one. That's
Yeah.
surely
Sorry,
appreciate
I don't carry food. You'll have to rely on the others for that.
Yeah, well, we could certainly have some of our dinner when
Here
we
are
fix
5
it.
good berries.
You got any meat?
No.
Could you get some meat?
Yeah, I could trap some for dinner tonight.
Oh, thank you, there. Now, no, I can tell you stuff if it'll keep you here.
Why do you want us to stay here?
Cause I don't want to be. I can't sleep. I can't. There's only
I mean, I'm
one person outside of the rock that I can talk to, and I can only talk to him when he's looking for me. So
I'd like to hear your tales. I would, maybe be some material for some songs. I don't believe that you're a god. I'm going to put that out on the table.
I don't
But,
know how I can prove that to you.
You don't have to. It's not important. But it does seem like you have some good stories. So I'm down to listen.
I could tell you about how one of my companions in our last fight in our home, our world where we came from, turned into a chaos dragon.
Wow. Oh, so you're
Oh,
just aliens. You're not gods. I see. That
No,
makes sense.
we came from. We created this world, and then we took charge of it and made it in the way that we wanted when we came here.
Yeah, aliens are pretty incredible.
I don't know if you have a concept of what aliens are. They're little ones.
I have done a lot of drugs. I don't know. I've probably speculated what's out there in space.
take me to your dealer, man.
Well, yeah. One of my companions became a chaos dragon. I was stood meteor after meteor from the Lord of the Hells.
Lord of the Hells.
So I had an amulet that had a trickster demon inside of it. Does that have anything to do with you?
No, I was gonna try to make a few of the religions be the way that I wanted to, but I've only really been able to influence one. And it wasn't one that would have had any trickster type folk. It wasn't anything like that, so that wouldn't have been me. Sorry that you got tricked, but it's pretty fun to trick people.
Yeah, that's true. Good. If you ever need a good target, quality, it is very solid.
No, I mean all I've really made for folk is I made a few things. I helped them make a lot of the weapons in the War of Flame. A lot of ones that are still around. You'll have got one of them, and I helped. But he's not paying attention right now, so I won't seed what it is until he comes back to pay attention. But yeah, I helped make a lot of that, and then I helped a few smiths have opened their mind, and I've been able to weasel my way in and show them a design for something that would be really interesting. Me ma and me pa were both blacksmiths back in my world, so I know my way around a forge. I know my way around making something.
While they're having this conversation, Ben, I'm going to ask the chronicler. I know my friends weren't interested in the prophecy, but I'd like to hear it.
Very well. In days beneath a shaken sky, when walkers' long legs stop and die, from twisted faith and differing path, shaken by the heavens and white bird's wrath, up comes the hammer at the dawn of a new age, like twisting fire beneath the sparking clouds. Springs laughter and thunder with the turning page, as dragon wings beat back the shrouds. Come then, will the elf not elf, neath banner of fire and strife and image of self, strider of dunes and guider of souls, reborn in ashes among the coals. Come, 5 fingers curled as hands to a thundery field, against giant slayers who refuse to yield. The kestrels of fire soaring high, high above, battling ever be in the age the house of the dove. For the long-horned elk guides the scaleless blind, into the garden old and ancient which none could find. An hour of snow and winter crashing down like frost, in which coils the beetle of what is gained and lost. Rage does an old word, whispered but remembered. Fall does the rising rush of glimmering-edged faces of kings. In blasted crop and mountains old where the world was embered, lurk and birth the ancient fair, evil and silent things. Reborn is Kellam Or, the first hero born of half-done deed. Twisting spiders beckon them on to the new world that they seed. Fretting though their blood not elder, stand resolute and proud. If then do all that's left our blood sing their name and loud. O blower of horns, O golden axe, O shadow of the phoenix, reborn again our favored child when touch do they the burning blade. From pit and royal blood they spring, jolly and wholesome tune they sing. Dragon, hammer, heaven, storm, egg, all aside before the once again.
Wow. That's a lot to think about.
Indeed. But if any of it speaks to you, perhaps it could be an instance of premonition, an understanding that you are spoken of here.
Well, thank you. I better go trap some of that food.
Of course.
And I'll head out and avoid the trap.
Yeah, but I made a lot of good stuff, you know. I made a lot of good stuff for the mortals and some stuff even for the old gods, for the new gods. I made something for one of those fellas from the desert in the south. Made a sword that could take on any type of thing. It would look like it. It would act like it when I touched it. What was his name? Something with an AZ. AZ sound. As... I don't know, but it was this curved.
I don't know. I haven't heard of him.
It was this curved sword that if you tapped it against something, it would take on properties of it. He would always put it in fire.
That makes sense.
Where's this sword?
I don't know. I mean, it was lost. I think.
It wouldn't be this one, would it? And I hold up the falchion.
Ha! There it is. That's the one. That's my handiwork.
Oh, it's been quite nice. I've had it for a while.
Well, you know, if you wanted to, you could test it out. You could, maybe you could see, you know, like these chains are unbreakable, but maybe you'd put like a chink in one of them. If you say you touched it to one of these ribbons that are in here, you know, that's pretty weak. But maybe it could, you know, silk could cut steel, and you could just make a dent in one link of the chain.
What would happen if you dipped it in her blood?
Well, that was exactly what I was thinking. This is why I've always liked you.
I don't know if I'd chop at those chains though, Jackson. Seems like a...
No,
I don't wish to do that.
I think it's a good idea. I think you should do it.
But I will touch the very tip of it into some of her flowing blood here.
All right, and when you do, the blade becomes completely golden and crystalline, still keeping its edge still usable as a sword. And Jackson, you can now cast any spell that is on your spell list without using a spell slot. And you can do that 3 times as long as you have this Limlac property, but you have to use the sword as a focus.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome.
It is divine magic blood, and your sword is now it. And it is like completely.
I knew I was holding on to this for a reason.
Crystalline, see-through. Yeah, I mean, you know, that Asfella would mostly use it for fire, and that was always pretty good. He chopped up a lot of old gods like that.
Brian, what's the name of your god again?
Amazing weapon you've created. You really are quite the interesting god.
I'm sorry. What was the question, Zakar?
I'm not there, but Aaron is asking, what's the name of your god again? Is it Asnar?
Yeah,
Okay.
the one and only.
Thank you Okay.
Well, I'm wondering if that's what she's talking about.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think that Nathaniel's had a weapon that's been for me the whole game. Um,
I offered it to you like 8 times.
I don't think so. I don't think that ever happened.
Yeah, it very much did.
I mean, I will say, in fairness, touching this blood is the first time you have used it. Like,
Because the way you told me it worked is it's like when you cast a spell while having it, the blade takes up that, like, it has like those properties to it. So I was like,
and
okay,
also-
well,
and
yeah, I could use this fire spell and it might get fiery, but I can't swing a goddamn falchion.
Well, and it takes on the property of anything it touches, and that includes a spell cast while it's being held. So that was the the explanation. But
Gotcha.
you've got the falchion.
Here, take this Guandao and give me that goddamn sword.
I can't even pronounce that thing. I can't wield it.
And do you all have any more questions?
I do. I have one more question if you guys are done.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want us to kill you?
Oh, you can't. The people have tried.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we
I had some
could, though.
success with being swallowed and doing it from the inside.
You know, one lad tried that and it didn't work.
Mm.
I'm gonna approach Biff and hold out a high five for always doing it from the inside.
I mean, being swallowed by a giant woman is, it's got to say, a little exciting for me. I didn't think about that until just now, but maybe someday.
Well, you know, if you'd like. But if you all don't have any more questions, I think we'll just call the session here. I had the kind of cliffhanger that I wanted to do, so why don't I just do that?
Okay.
So basically, we'll start the session with a little bit of a flashback in case you all think of any more questions that you want to ask and that sort of thing. If you want to talk to Allison, if you want to set up any traps, but you hear the beat of dragon wings the next day, about 2 hours before the book says the one that you're supposed to fight. Yeah, sure. The one that you're supposed to be fighting arrives. You hear the beat. Well, actually, you don't hear the beat of dragon wings. Sorry, you just hear something very heavy, like, crash down onto the ground outside. And then you hear, I am looking for 4 adventurers. A halfling, 2 humans, and a human who is also an elf. I seek only words, not violence.
No one here that fits that description.
All right, and we'll see you all next week. Or we'll see you all in a month. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, everyone.
Amazing.